Ladies and gentlemen, happy Sunday. Hope you're having a great one because it is about to get better. This is the day we've been waiting for since the tournament was created in my brain. The grand finals. Who is the king of the noobs? We've got two epic teams on the lineup today, Midge. They've been strong all tournament long. How are you feeling about it?
I am so excited for this. Gondor and Bagno. We couldn't have picked a better matchup for our final, considering their play through the tournament. These teams have been relentless. They have been unstoppable, and now they're facing off right at the end. It's going to be great.
It's going to be awesome. Let's take a look at the brackets. What it took for them to get here. We'll start in the winners here. So Gondor actually got a bye against the Lego Islanders, who had to forfeit due to a scheduling issue. And then they ended up beating Ghost Division in their round 2 winners bracket. Bagno, let's see, where are they in the first one? Oh yeah, they had to face Great Eastern Railway, which was a nice match on Port of Hamburg. Some good back and forth, but they were victorious, and then they moved on to round 2, and they played AD. They actually ended up playing AD twice as we move on to the playoff bracket. We can see that they had a rematch against AD and beat them again. Gondor Calls for Aid played Daka, which was a good game. Daka showed a strong showing in the tournament. They had that game, that three-game matchup against Majors Privates. So Gondor moves on to play Majors Privates in the semifinals, defeats them. Bagno defeats the Troopin to bring them to their current status as contestants for being king of the noobs, taking it all. And guys, there's a lot on the line. First place, the team will get 400 cash. That's $100 USD per player. They'll get 4 copies of Total War 3 Kingdom PC and 100 Kotu supply coins per player. The runner-up will get $100 cash and 50k Kotu supply coins for each player. So even the loser, it's gonna be hard to be too upset. They're walking away with some money, but man, it would be a lot sweeter to win. So I think we're gonna see some scrappy gameplay. I imagine there won't be any surrenders today.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good day, and also whoever wins this goes away with the first ever King of the Noobs tournament title. They get to be the first place, and that in itself is an exciting memento to walk away with. So yeah, this is going to be some scrappy fights, and boy, do we have a matchup as well. What map are we expecting? Well, we're going straight in as well with Red Bull, the OG. We're going into the combat arena of KOTU, the most probably balanced map, the most expected map. So it's going to be all to play for. I'm so looking forward to this.
Absolutely. And for those of you just tuning in, or if you haven't been following the tournament, the players, in order to qualify to play in this tournament, had to have less than 2,000 hours in Company of Heroes 2, and they could not have a rank of 500 or better in 1v1s and 2v2s. That was just our way of qualifying a certain level of player for the tournament. We didn't want it to be pros. We didn't want it to be people completely new to the game, so that was kind of the cutoff there. But that's that. I am so excited, guys. This is a best of 5 today. All the games so far in the tournament have been best of 3. We could see 5 epic games today. So, and I hope they're good, long ones, because I am ready. Got my coffee. Hope you have some drinks in front of you. Build up the hype, gentlemen. This is it. Let's get into it. Game 1. Bagno versus Gondor Calls for Aid. I'm going to be starting on the top with Axis with Team Gondor. Of course, looks like we have the standard double Wehrmacht, double OKW. Infantry Company going down for one of the Wehrmacht. And as well for the second, we do have an immediate commander to lock in. Spearhead Doctrine for one of the Wehrmacht, solid commander. We also have Viewerstum Doctrine locked in for one of the OKWs.
Yeah, we've got the... I think this is a normal play here for Bagno. Double USF, single Soviet, single Brit. The Soviet has teched as well. They've got their support weapons out. But I think they've kind of spearheaded the double USF as a go-to on allies. They've been using it a lot through the tournament, and a lot of people have been using double Soviet over double USF. So be interesting to see. Obviously, it limits the amount of heavy tanks they can get unless they pick heavy cavalry, but it means they get stronger infantry out early. So it's even matchup.
Looks like Bagno is the first to make it to the fuel. They have an infantry section capping. Echelon going for the VPs. Here come the Sturms to try to challenge. It's going to be a bit harder, though, as they approach the infantry sections. Although they are going to push them off immediately, the infantry section's not having that attack bonus because there's no cover. And here comes an MG42 on the right side fuel. This is where most of the action happens early in Whiteball Express. Fuel being such an important resource. Vickers coming up on the left fuel to get a nice suppression on that Sturm, but here comes an MG42 getting nice aggressive to try to lock that down.
No commander picks as of yet for the Allies, but I just want to point out, Ralanator, like you said, has gone for Fierce Storm again. This is his go-to. He used it perfectly on this map we saw in Gondor's first game. I reckon he's going to hope to recreate the strength he shows in that doctrine. Going to have those Opel Blitz wagons, bringing those forward supports up to the line. But we've got combat erupting all across the map. And as we start to see map control come in here, I think it's favoring the Axis, but only just.
Yeah, the Allies are, they just wiped a Sturm. Bagno wipes a Sturm on retreat on the right side fuel, and they have another wounded in retreat on the top side fuel. But yeah,
no, you just... there was one wipe just before that wounded one retreats as well, so that's wipes on both sides of the map. Allies not giving up without a fight.
Looks like Gondor coming in to cap this right bottom side fuel. They're about to enjoy some double fuel production, and they've also captured left Muni. Right Muni's still neutral. So Bagno's got a little bit of a hill to climb up. They do have 2 VPs, now 3 in their possession, so they're going to start some tick down.
Hoyer MD taking the time to use his engineers to barb wire the center VP. It's going to be useful.
Yeah, especially early game. This is interesting. So Gondor having the early fuel advantage, but Bagno going ahead with the VP triple tick down. We have a mortar out for one of the Soviet players. We do have one Allied commander lock in. That's going to be Airborne Company for Mr. Jones. Gondor now electing to get aggressive on this bottom flank, trying to push off the mortar, but there is a Maxim chirping away, forcing off that Volks, but here comes a rifle grenade. Only wipes a model, but a good chunk of health. 2 Maxim, one of them going down to 2 models. And Gondor's also getting aggressive on the top fuel, really harassing the front line of Bagno, not letting them get comfortable to stage a counterattack. I like to see that.
Eltrix has locked in Overwatch Doctrine, so just one Axis commander left to be locked in. And we've also had Soviet Combined Arms locked in for her MD.
Big Allied counterattack from Bagno, making its way up the right VP. 1 Grenadier facing 4 USF Riflemen.
Captain with a bar is going to tear through this infantry if he's not careful early game. It's going to give an advantage. Grenade coming down, though. Really gets a kill. It's going to start doing ticking damage. They need to get out of there.
Gondor's still enjoying the double fuel production. They are currently at 33. Bagno sitting at 19.
Gondor, however, 100 VPs down already. Or thereabouts.
Yeah, look at this barbed wire cutoff on the middle VP. I don't even think that's been contested by Gondor yet. Definitely been an emphasis on the sides of the map. I'd love to see Bagno start harassing this middle point, considering how weak it is. Maxim's coming up, trying to stabilize this front line for Bagno. Good use of flame grenades coming down from the Volks Grenadiers. This mortar is going to be exposed and pushed off.
Got a 222 out in mid.
First light vehicle, 222. planning his assault. It really seems like
Ralanator
Bagno... Go ahead.
Ralanator and Mini-Me here are actually getting dug in again on this side of the map, this farmyard side. We've seen them do it multiple times. That battle group headquarters is down with medics. There's bunkers going in. It's going to get ever more slowly, more difficult for the allies to push back in here.
Yeah, agreed. It looks like Gondor's really getting comfortable and creating a more stable front line on the sides, and the allies are having a tough time cracking that and getting in there. And that's going to be even more solidified. There's an MG in the building. MG bunker just going down up here on the top. It seems like Gondor has kind of secured this right side as well. I imagine this early fuel lead is going to start snowballing a bit. We do have a mortar pit up for Bagno, though, near the middle of the map. I think that's a good placement, and they've got an M6 mine protecting it from a push. A mortar actually lands on top of a 222, doing a good chunk of damage.
Ralanator using his Opal Blitz in the middle to resupply his troops, getting those Vox Grenadiers with the MP40s back up to health. They are going to meet a half-track, though, if they're not careful, but the half-track's facing the wrong way as they push in.
Yeah, he might get a double Faust here from those Volks. There's one.
Here comes the other Faust.
He's suppressing the wrong squad, and the other one just is able to walk up and deliver a second Faust. Not going to be enough to take it out, though. Oh, and one.
Yeah.
Sturm almost going down. The Volks retreating on top of the mine. Oh, man. Gondor may have overextended here. Oh, that squad is going to barely make it out. A little stroke of luck. Another AA half-track out for the second USF player. And look at this. More bunkers coming down from Gondor on the right. They are keen to lock down these fuel points. Nice use of the smoke from the mortar pit. Bagno trying to get a decap on that fuel, but they're pushed off. But that mortar pit is a good response to these bunkers being produced.
Yeah, but look at the economy right now. Although it's currently trying to change hands because of a Pioneer squad and because of Ralanator's push in the center there, currently Gondor have both fuels and both munitions.
Yeah. No, they're definitely running away with the resource, but those AA half-tracks need to take out the scout car if they can get up a little close. Gondor doesn't have much in the way of AT. So oh, and the scout car does go down. I don't know what got the kill shot, but these AA half-tracks could get a little more aggressive. Not that they can see what we see, but I actually don't even see a single AT gun on. Oh, just one Raketten here on the bottom. But on the top, there's almost no sign of AT other than snares from the infantry. Here does come the Bagno counterattack on the top. 3 squads, an MG, and a half-track pushing up. Got the Brit mortars pounding away.
Yeah, that was a really good placement and really good micromanagement of those Brit mortars, using the barrage option to get that extra range to really deal some damage. Half-track takes out the bunker. Yep. Now it's just an MG up this side. This is a really good push here from Bagno. But look at Gondor. They're now in force in the center. Ralanator with his Volks, with the MP40s, retaking the Muni. Supported by a rack, which is firing down on the mortar pit. We should also say that the Allies have locked in all of their commanders now. So we've got Royal Artillery for the Brits. We've got heavy cavalry coming in for one of the USF, which makes sense. Make up for the missing heavy tanks. But one of the half-tracks just goes off to a flank here from the Volksgrenadiers, double Fausting it and slowly shooting it down with the STG upgrade. And now they're on the flank for these mortars.
Bagno responding nicely, rotating that Maxim. Rifleman there in force, gonna force a retreat there from Gondor, and they're doing well to secure this top as they've cleared that bunker. Not a lot in the way of defense for Gondor on the north now. Experiencing a bit of a side effect of aggression now as they retreat. It really opens up the battlefield and a lane of attack for Bagno to get into the game.
Morse
Nice
pick
grenade.
goes up for the Brits.
Oh yeah, that's a big loss. So what ended up getting it?
The Raketenwerfer there.
Oh.
They smoked it off and then ground attacked through the smoke to kill the mortar pit.
Stuka Foos coming in on the south side, doing considerable damage to the AT gun and machine gun that are holding the VP. And the Brit artillery going down on the backlines, hitting the headquarters building of OKW. We got Gondor coming in with a bit of a counterattack here. 2 machine guns, 2 grenadiers. And all of a sudden Gondor has infiltrated center and is holding it. And what do you know? Opal Blitz from Rallinator. Seems like every game he's got an aggressive truck up there for the reinforcements. Really a great use of that.
Yeah, I think Gondor, all of them kind of do. They prefer to have these forward retreat bases. You can see it in the forest side. There's the reinforcement bunker. There's the battle group headquarters on the farm side. There's that Opal Blitz floating around the center. They really love their forward retreat bases. Get those troops back to the lines quicker.
Bunkers are really getting pounded from Gondor. Another one's super low. Although it's the medical bunker for them. They love their forward reinforcements, and that can really help keep the aggression up. But they are at risk at losing the manpower as Bagno gets aggressive and takes them out. Speaking of the aggression, here comes Bagno up the middle with the half track. 3 squads.
Yeah, the half-track micromanagement, although one is dead now, but having 2 of them on the field has been a real lifesaver for Bagno. And they've used them really well in their pushes to support the infantry.
Yeah, they did take advantage of the lack of AT on Gondor's side. Gondor has responded. There is now more AT on the field. We got a pack. We've got a couple racks sneaking around. So those AA half-tracks are going to have to be careful, including a P4, the first medium tank we're seeing in Game 1. Coming down on the south. Introducing itself to the guards. Oh, and a big Stuka hit on the rifleman. And the Panzergren. Oh no, the Panzer IV reversed over one squad and wiped it, and then shot the second and wiped it. That's a big loss for Bagno. And a second Panzer IV up north now. So that early fuel lead finally coming to fruition for Axis, as they did not elect to build many light vehicles, only the 1222.
What I will say is Bagno have prepared, and they have got quite a few AT guns out ready, and not an overly large amount as well. They've got probably just the right amount. I see 3 or 4. So that's essentially 1 per player. That could be enough to push back these Panzer IVs, but only if they don't get something else out soon.
Panzer IV just moves up and wipes a Maxim, but it takes 3 shots from a Zis gun. It's limping away. Now Gondor taking the triple cap, starting the bleed on Bagno.
It's a rather splendid Cromwell tank, prepared in the center, possibly going to look to make a move, but Gondor is moving in first. Bagno might have to respond. These Volks pushing up on the side of the Cromwell. At the same time, Panzer IV in front of it.
Here comes the Cromwell, and it takes out the P4. That seemed okay. It must have at the same time. I think a 6-pounder shot. But that P4 just got deleted. Nice pickup by Bagno, but a second P4 coming in to replace his fallen comrade.
Yeah, max range, quarter-pounder shot, and it took a shot from the US F-AT gun, the Brit AT gun, and the Cromwell.
And it happened in quick succession. Not enough time for him to react. Bagno establishing their front line on the bottom now, going to be taking that fuel. And they are looking to do the same here on the top. Just one P4 holding them back and one AT gun. You gotta give Bagno credit, really reversing the momentum of combat here. After all those P4s showed up, it looked like Andra was fit to run away with some aggression, but Bagno really responded.
Yeah. Although they do need to try and get the fuel out of Gondor's hands. They've had it for way too long. It has happened in the forest, and it's starting to happen in the farmyards. It's just they've got to be able to hold on to it.
Oh, here's a Goliath coming out. Where's he going? He's going for the guards. We've got a Goliath on the right side of the map here. The guards don't seem to spot him. Now they do, and they run away.
The Goliath gave themselves away by moving a tree on top of them.
They might go for these Rangers on retreat. Now he thinks better of it. I can't blame him. Oh, an AT shot nearly wiping it out. I love that we're seeing Goliaths here in the grand finals of the King of the Noobs. In the spirit of the tournament.
Oh, that's a bad retreat path for Ralanator's infantry there. He pushed up. And now he's being chased by the Cromwell. This could be bad. A lot of Volks taking hits here. Retreated the wrong way around the hedgerows. Right through the Allied lines. But now, Cromwell in trouble. Pack howitzers are trying to fire. AT guns are going to fire. Is the Panzer IV overextending? It might be.
Oh, what a max range hit from the American AT gun. Panzer IV almost got away with a bounce. But Bagno's front line of AT almost looked like an intentional bait there with the Cromwell. And Bagno's really starting to get some key pickups of these medium tanks.
USF pushing on Ralanator's infantry at the battle group headquarters. Brit artillery coming down the Howard. But that could be dangerous. Good use of the grenades there. Pack 40 coming back up, probably to try and punish. Yep, punishing the half track. Let's see if it can get away. I think it will be okay. But great pushes there.
Yeah. The VPs are about dead even. 354 to 358. I think we've got a good series on our hands.
Yeah, this is only game one, remember, folks. We have got a possible 5 games today for this grand final.
Panzer IV staying aggressive on the south side of the map. He's gonna have to get out of there. There's some guards with upgraded DP light machine guns coming his direction, as well as Rangers with bazookas. Bagno fixing for a big attack, but here comes a Stuka. Is it gonna find its mark? Oh, camera goes into the trees. Oh, it hits something. It takes out a Zis gun. Bagno looking really strong with their counterattacks. More Brit artillery coming down on this battle group headquarters, doing a great job of punishing this placement.
Yeah, the Brit artillery has been relentless, just sneaking squads up there to get even just the vision, because he's got Royal Artillery. He can call it in as a commander or cheaper through the smoke. Situational depending. He's really using that well, really trying to punish that battle group headquarters. And it's good too, because honestly, that is a forward placement and they should punish that.
Now all of a sudden, Bagno having almost full control of the map. There's one squad from Cap in the middle VP currently, and with that, they're gonna have both fuels, both unis, and all 3 VPs. This headquarters really at risk.
Sexton out by the British. Firing his first volley. I think it's overshot slightly. I think he was assuming Ralanator was reinforcing its troops behind the battlefield headquarters.
We do have a Jagdpanzer out now for OKW. Gondor looking to respond with some tank losses of their opponent to respond. Many P4s have met their demise this match. We have a Jackson in the backlines. I don't think it's fired a shot yet.
No, that's fresh out. And what I would say, Bagno have done excellently to negate the Axis fuel advantage. They've really, really done well to take out those P4s, not let them get overwhelmed by those medium tanks. And now, game one is definitely going to go to the long game here.
Got double caddies out. I didn't see that until now. They force off 3 squads of Axis infantry here on the bottom side of the map, and another Jackson down south as well. Bagno's front line looking strong. They're really starting to gather a lot of men and tanks, and it seems like Gondor's in a little bit of disarray, scattered.
I can't believe how close the VPs have been this game as well.
Yeah. No, I love to see it. Both teams not forgetting about the VPs, staying alert, getting the caps. Keeping it a close one. This poor headquarters taking so much fire. These engineers desperately trying to keep it alive. The Jagdpanzer's about to find the AA half-track.
AA half-track needs to get out of there. Hope he's not microing elsewhere. No, he does get it out.
Oh, what a long-range shot.
Range hit.
Goodness.
Look at that.
Nice pick up there for Gondor. We have a P4 in trouble, though, and a Jackson diving. Going for the mortar half-track first. He could keep going. There's nothing to stop him from picking up both kills, but he doesn't know that, so he's going to back up. Doesn't want to lose the Jackson to a mine or a snare. There is a Raketten back there. I think it's smart not to dive, but it would be tempting.
Squad wipes over on the other side of the map from infantry. Yeah, that... Picking up that half-track is a big pickup, actually. That's been suppressing so many infantry pushes. That was almost veterancy 3, and it's been doing a lot of work for the Allies, so that's a really good pickup there.
A sneaky bazooka on this captain. Adding the bazooka after the bar upgrade doesn't show the bazooka icon. So tank to shore could think he's safe. Jackson's find the Jagdpanzer. The Jagdpanzer's not moving. It's taking bazooka shots. Oh, the bazooka missed. Jackson with a second hit.
No, that's Ralinators, and he's currently micromanaging his Volks in the center with the racks. He tried to make a push. Probably doesn't realize. Now he's realized he's pulled him back. Panther out here. Takes a shot at the Jackson. Jackson shot bounces. It's going for the dive. There's a lot of AT in the background, though, so it doesn't want to fall victim like the Panzer IVs have before it. Recap in the center coming from the Brits. And we've got a push of Jaegers in the forest. They're going to catch a mortar out of position there. Just going to get away with its life.
Here comes the caddy firing into those troops on the VP. And the Stuka in response. What's Stuka going to target? Oh, here's an Su-85 for the Soviets. Stuka goes for the support weapons. Good hits on the machine gun and Zis. Oh, the Jackson. I think it wants to dive the Stuka. He's going. There's nothing to stop him.
Yeah, this is going to be a great pickup if they can get it, but there is a Yag behind it now.
He's nervous. He backed up, but now the Yag's taking his place. That slight moment of hesitation.
Yeah, Jackson needs to get out of there now. It's showing its rear armor, which isn't a great shot. It goes for the reverse. His first shot bounces. That split second of hesitation there. Although it's probably good that it did save it because we do have a Tiger out and it's going for the Jackson. It's going to try and head that way.
Oh, Tiger Panzer IV combo. The Allies do have
these
guard
Pershings out as well. Pershings finds the Panzer IV.
Oh.
Tiger's going to burst through the bushes. He's going to try and get on the side flank of the Pershings here. Fires at the Rangers instead. Pershings readjusts its aim towards the Tiger.
Rifle grenade snares the Panzer IV. It's limping away. Tiger doesn't seem interested in this fight. Oh, but we have a strafe coming down from the Axis, lighting up the Pershing. Oh, man, and double hits. Pershing, all of a sudden, 15% health. Those strafes can be deadly. Americans are going to realize they need some anti-air on their side.
Meanwhile, on the other flank, the Hetzer is out for Rallinator, and it's just fried a load of airborne. That's going to be an expensive rebuy. We're starting to line up for big tank engagements, though, and I'm looking forward to the carnage.
Gondor is suffering a bit on the VPs. Bagnow's been holding the left and right. Here comes another Stuka. Cause of anxiety for Bagnow. With all these vetted troops now at risk of those deadly rockets raining down on them. Do have a Churchill on the north side of the map. It's pretty hurt. Gondor starting to line up with a good, sizable force of armor on their side. Nice caddy hit on these grenadiers. Oh, and white. Oh no, they got in the building.
Close. Good use of the building there, though.
Coming down on the north. It's just non-stop.
Red smoke coming down on the British backline, though. Oh! That's a massive hit.
Oh, it takes out the Vet 3 Vickers.
Oh! Almost got the retreating squad as well. That was...
Gondor coming in for the recap of the VPs. They're taking north and south. They're about to have a triple cap. They haven't forgot.
British infantry does take out all of the support weapons that were stacked up, and now the Jackson's going to move to hit the Panther. Force that away. So it was about a 1-for-1 trade there, that artillery versus that infantry. I also noticed that those British infantry are using a bar, so a little bit of Lend-Lease going on there for the Allies.
These airborne troops coming in with their LMGs just lighting up the Grenadiers. Forcing them off the VP.
Big push on the other flank as well.
Yeah.
Pershing's going toe-to-toe with the Tiger. Currently trying to get the MG off the VP there, but we have red smoke coming in, forcing a lot of the Axis infantry away. But look at this barrage coming in. Wipes a lot of USF there.
Look at all this Allied AT moving up. They wanna go tiger hunting.
Panzer IV takes a big hit there. It's forced away instantly from the Ranger and the one shot from the Pershings. The Tiger is quickly repairing, but it's been found. The Su-85 is taking shots on it. So is the Zis gun.
The Allies.
They got any guards? Guards are coming up. They're going to try and bottle it. I think that they want to make this push.
The Allies.
They know they've pushed most of it off.
There's a huge opening here for them to push these tanks up. I don't know if they know, but this Tiger is exposed. Katyusha coming down, trying to pick off the engineers and repair. There's only one Jagdpanzer to try to hold off the Pershing and the Jackson and the SU and the AT guns. The Allies don't want to risk it. They don't know what's in the fog of war. The Tiger showed its rear. Here comes the Soviets. They spot it. Dude, land a shot on the rear armor. This Tiger caught in an awkward position. Another rear armor shot. And now the Allies have a free shot at the mechanized headquarters. Jagdpanzer trying to come up to slow them down, but all the front lines for Gondor are collapsing on this side.
Yeah, and Bagnow taking the time. Cromwell in the center starting to harass some of the support weapons. Might be about to find the mortar carriage there. And there's a strong line of Axis armor to displace anything that might try and push on the farmyard side. P-47 strafe coming down. It's going to take out the Hetzer. Yep, the Hetzer goes down. Panther really low. Panther takes a hit from a Jackson. Second Jackson is ready to fire. It's just blocked by the trees right now. There's another shot. It survives. Panther is still going. No, it takes the hit. There's a Panzerwerfer there. Those Jacksons could keep pushing, but there is a hidden Jagdpanzer, which does shoot one of the Jacksons. P-47 still coming in.
Yeah, they need this infantry to give vision to the P-47s so that could help them with the Jag. Oh, but more fresh infantry and a rack coming in. Jackson danger load. Churchill taking shots. Here comes the P-47s on that Jag, but look at all this fresh infantry here. The racks. Oh my gosh, this is carnage. There's also a pack. Jackson goes down. Artillery being exchanged on the south. It's just devastating craters everywhere, but Bagneux seems to be coming out ahead on both engagements. It looks like Gondor's really forced back. Wow. What can Gondor do to get back into this game? They still have VPs, they have time. But do they have the units? Tiger's trying to make some way, but there's a fresh Pershing here.
I've got a P4 for backup here, and the Pershings is alone. No, there's a Jackson moving up as well. Okay.
And a Jagdpanzer. You know, something you don't see often in most games, but there's actually more bazookas than there are Shreks from the Axis. I don't think there's a single Shrek on the Axis side, which really could come in handy.
There's no Shreks on the Axis side, but I think there are Shreks on the Allies side. I've seen a couple get picked up, being put to use.
Stuka getting a little danger close. Here comes another. What is this call? And this is a. Got a recon coming in for the Soviets. Tiger's rotating to the middle. Oh, more red smoke coming down on the Gondor's positions in the back lines, including Katyusha rocket trucks. Just lighting up. Bet 3 Volks at risk of going down on retreat. Looks like he's gonna make it.
Oh, Penal's at risk in the center as the Tiger chases them down.
Those are guards, upgraded guards. T-34 coming to... Oh, he does wipe one on retreat. T-34 comes in for the ram. Tiger's at risk now. Sherman 5. Oh my gosh, the brigade of British tanks coming on the flank, but the Firefly gets fousted. The Firefly goes down. Tiger uses smoke, but the Jackson's in pursuit.
Pershing's on the rear. Pershing's coming in.
Oh gosh, the Tiger goes down. Look at all this armor. Here comes a Panzerwerfer. Jagdpanzer hitting the Churchill. The Pershing stunned. So many Fausts coming in from the Volks trying to take out this Churchill. The Cromwell stunned. I think every tank is stunned. And there's strafes coming in.
Everything.
Oh, Cromwell goes down. Churchill goes down.
This could be devastating for Bagneux here.
Oh, God. The T-34 is still alive in the middle, but there's Jagdpanzers. Up, yeah, okay, T-34's down. Oh, wow. I mean...
Yeah, the Allies didn't have their main call-ins. No P-47s. No British arty, so they couldn't counter a lot of the infantry and tanks that came in to reinforce. Those Fausts just took down the Allied tanks, and now that didn't look as good a pickup. Just a Tiger and almost a P4.
Yeah.
To pretty much the British armor and a T-34.
Oh, but the Rangers walked up and just deleted a Panzerwerfer. And they just dropped Artie on the Schwer. That should survive, though. Yeah, I agree. That definitely looked like a better exchange for Gondor. They might have gotten a little bit of a foothold here, but the Allies going for the middle VP. That's the problem for Gondor. They're bleeding VPs, and Bagneux is staying in firm control.
Yeah. Yeah, no, the Brits also lost quite a bit of infantry. There was quite a lot of squad wipes there as Rallinator's troops cleaned up behind the Tiger, but that was a very messy engagement where honestly, both sides really, really played that. And yeah, like you say, VP pressure is on Gondor, and they're getting desperate.
Does look like in general, Bagno does have larger forces, especially in the side of infantry. And that's going to do them a lot of good for keeping these points capped. This match is played on the current live version of the game, not the winter patch. For those wondering, got a Werfer coming in. Big hits. Oh my gosh, 2 Vet 3 paratroopers go down in the north. That is big loss for Bagno. Can Gondor capitalize on these losses though and try to cap some of these VPs? They're gonna need to focus, I think, on just 2.
Ralanator rotating back to that farmyard side with his infantry Hetzer and Jagdpanzer.
Bagno at risk of losing both of these Jacksons. One goes down. The other's gonna take 3 hits here, I think. Oh, he gets a miss. Could get lucky. Nope, 2 Jacksons going down.
That's a big loss.
This opens a window here for Gondor. Can they capitalize? They have to get on the VPs. Oh, come P-47s to respond.
That's going to be big, those P-47s there.
Gosh. Fed 3 Jagd
infantry on the middle point, but they need to take more than 1 to stop the bleed. The other 2 look firmly in Allied control right now.
Bagno, so many losses, but they're holding the VP lead. Gondor's down to 27 points. P-47's coming in, takes out a Stuka. Jagd danger low. But another Jackson at risk of going down in the middle of the Fausts. Here comes a Panzer IV. Jackson goes down. So many losses. Jagd goes down. You can tell Gondor wants to cap this top VP. There's just machine guns in it, holding it. They need something to stop the machine guns.
VPs are very low though right now. It's going to take a lot to stop Bagno at this point. Gondor need to muster something, a last push. I don't think they've got the tank strength to do it. All of their vehicles are low. They do pick up some kills. SU-85 goes down. But points are down.
Gondor managed to decap.
Yeah.
This would be an incredible comeback if Gondor can pull it out. I want to think that Bagno's allowing these tanks to die in defense, knowing the points are so low that they can just keep them up there and delay the caps. Gondor might actually get this. They do cap the top VP, but there's nothing to hold it. Absolutely nothing. There's nothing to hold middle. Both sides suffering from serious attrition.
Yeah, I think it's just going to come down to the fact that Bagno now still have the infantry advantage. They're instantly recapping. The bleed is going to be back on very quickly. However, Elephant in the center being found by a Churchill. Churchill's undeciding which way he wants to go. Where's his smoke? Where's his reverse into your smoke? Don't drive towards it with the smoke. Jackson on the side there.
Elephant misses with the attack ground. Bagno secures both top and bottom VP. The countdown is on for Gondor. 9 points and ticking. They're not going to have time to cap. I think that's a GG.
I think that's a GG in our first game. But again, this is the first of 5 possible games today.
Incredible fight showed by both teams. Game 1. Going to Bagno. What a matchup we have on our hands. Folks, grand finals. Game 1 is not disappointed. My goodness.
Yeah, just such an exciting game there. Both teams gave their all, but Bagno just pulling that VP lead early really set Gondor on the back foot, and then the counter to those P4s, it proved unstoppable really for them. And that was that game. I'm looking forward to seeing how Gondor respond as the sides switch and the factions switch.
Yeah, game 2 will be the faction switch, side switch. I agree. It's amazing how the pressure of the early VP lead can really cause issues in the late game. In a lot of auto match games that I've played, that doesn't usually become a huge factor. And I wouldn't expect it to be a huge factor in a competitive setting, but it really does. It causes a lot of desperation because Gondor seemed to be winning a lot of those late game tank fights, but it didn't matter because they didn't have the points. They couldn't. They had to cap the VPs at the same time, and that was just too much to ask for with all that micro-ring and battles going on. Bagno could afford to lose units because they were ticking down Gondor all the while those fights were happening. Clutch to them. Let's take a look at the stats just to see. Wow, a lot of. I mean, look at the numbers. Pretty even, 30 and 40k damage almost on all the players. All the players around 100 kills, and all the players around 100-ish deaths. Pretty even matchup. No real standout players. I think we have a perfect grand finals on our hands, evenly matched. This is looking good.
Yeah, it's honestly, they're so tightly packed together. It's hard to point out one MVP for that game. Honestly, there were some unspoken moments, though, I would like to quickly highlight. The USF made really good use of their pack howitzers. We didn't really point out in the match, but I was keeping a small eye on it. They got a lot of kills and a lot of veterancy, and they were used a lot in conjunction with the infantry to make sure that the allies could just push off that well-defended. Because do you remember how well-defended the Axis had those flanks? And then it just completely flipped at the loss of the P4s, and I think those pack howitzers were part of that. So really good job there. And I again want to applaud Gondor's use of forward operation bases to reinforce and get back into the fight early, because we had some extremely veteran units in there. But I think these two teams have met their match, and it's going to be a close final. It's going to be such a close final.
We also got to give props to Bagno for countering those forward emplacements. They were quick to respond with mortar pits, British artillery, non-stop pressure on those bunkers, and that really was felt. You could tell by Gondor's. They were scattered by that. They couldn't accumulate around the reinforcement bunkers and try to create a front line because of that artillery just raining in. Just great job by both teams being alert and trying to counter each other's strategies. For those of you just tuning in, we have a lot of new viewers. That was game 1 of the grand finals. There's $400 cash on the line for first prize, and 4 copies of Total War 3 Kingdoms, and 100,000 KO2 supply coins for each player. Second place will receive $100 cash and 50,000 KO2 supply coins for each player. So a lot on the line. This is a best of 5. First team to win 3 games will be the grand final winner. In the meantime, we're going to take a commercial break. Please stick with us as we go into game 2. Sides will switch, factions will switch, and we're staying on Whiteball Express. We'll see you guys soon. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the exciting day of the grand finals. We are down 1 game. Bagno came out victorious. This is a best of 5. We have 4 potential games on our hands here. Just to recap, Gondor was the faction pick in game 1, and they chose Axis. Bagno was the map and side pick. They chose Whiteball Express and the south side. Bidge, what I think is interesting is the allies, Bagno, came out victorious that match in what has been predominantly an Axis-sided tournament. It seems, and there's been a lot of discussion in the comments and in the chat about Axis being overpowered, especially in this kind of skill gap of the casual gamer, you know, not pro, because the Axis late game is arguably full of heavier, more powerful tanks and potentially harder for casual players to destroy them. But Bagno didn't seem to have too much trouble. They kept in there. But one thing I guess we could point out is the Axis on Gondor's side didn't have a lot of heavy tanks. The Elephant came out late before it could really make a difference, so maybe that was a key factor.
Yeah, and I would say Bagno throughout the tournament, they have been one of our stronger allied teams. They've been really coordinated in their call-ins, and that's really saved them in multiple games and made sure they got the win in multiple games. So it's not surprising to see especially with the teams being of this standard, I think the negation of map preference, this map is very even on both sides. And I think the Axis advantage is negated, especially if you can't get those heavy tanks out, if the early game is so hard for you. And yeah, I think allies with their call-ins can pretty much easily counter them at this level with these two teams, because those P-47s, we saw how devastating they were. The Brit Arty did so well to counter the infantry, so the Axis were left without a lot of choices. But having said that, we have also seen Gondor pull off the exact same thing with the P-47s and the IL-2 strafes, and they gave us a masterclass in destroying elephants that time. So, hey, it could easily be that today is the Allied-sided day, but we will see. Red Bull is a very even map, and I think that's going to be playing into it, but I think the teams are more even than the map, so honestly, it could go either way.
Absolutely, and there were some questions about what maps were on the docket. We did have a map pool, so we didn't want to open it up to all 4v4 maps just for sake of balance, and wanted to keep a certain pool available to the players. So the ones that are available for the teams to choose are Whiteball Express, Whiteball Express, Port of Hamburg, Nordwind, Lienne Forest, Steppes, Road to Arnhem, and Hill 400. But as we do with all game 2s, we are going to play the same map, so we're going to be staying on Whiteball Express, but the sides and the factions will be swapped by the teams. For those of you just tuning in, here's the in terms of player qualifications for who was allowed to play in the tournament, they had to have less than 2,000 hours in Company of Heroes 2, and they had to have ranks of 500 or worse in 1v1s and 2v2s, or be unranked. So that's why we call it King of the Noobs. These are not pros, but they are highly skilled casual players. So, without further ado, let's get into game 2. Ladies and gentlemen, Bagno versus Gondor calls for aid. Bagno is 1 game ahead. Let's get into it. I'm again going to be watching the north side of the Axis, this time being Bagno, who is up the 1 game. We have infantry company going down. We have a second infantry company going down. Double Wehrmacht, double OKW. Very standard opening all tournament long for the Axis. No immediate commander lock-ins. What's Bagno up to, or what's Gondor up to down there?
So Gondor have gone for the kind of standard double Soviet USF Brit combination, unlike what we just saw Bagno play. One Soviet has teched, the other hasn't. So we've got a support weapon company down with no tech on one of the Soviets, and we've got, I think I hear a universal carrier out. Yeah, we've got a British UC out, and we've had 2 commander lock-ins. The 2 Soviets have locked in airborne troop tactics and mechanized support tactics. So going to see those SVT rifles, and we're going to hopefully see that ISU 152, the big cannon of Stalin, to bring some Axis some pain. But we've got bullets flying across the map. The first engagements have begun.
Yep, same engagement as last on the north side fuel. We got an infantry section versus a Sturm. This time the Sturm's electing to stay in green cover rather than push, which is a good choice because here comes some conscript and a universal carrier. Start unleashing some firepower on them. Volk's trying to put down green cover behind the fence, but the conscript's getting aggressive on the flank. Meanwhile, in the south field, we got riflemen, conscripts, rear echelon putting pressure on a single Sturm. Oh, but an MG42 nicely positioned on the flank. Gonna suppress that rifleman. We see some early capping of the munitions, which is something we didn't see last game. It was 100% focused on the fuel points. Now we have both munitions being capped by the allies, and we see a flank coming in from the middle, which is something we didn't see last game. The conscripts here coming on the rear of Bagno.
Got an Urar out.
Gonna harass this MG42, getting right up in his face. Hello, Hans.
Yep.
Uh-oh, that seems to be a bit of a misclick. The MG42. Oh, maybe he just, I don't know. Trying to reposition.
And now he's
oh my gosh.
ring around the rosy with this MG.
I think he was assuming these Volks could support him enough, but not with these reinforcements. MG42 at risk of going down, but it does make it on retreat. Now the conscripts are at risk of going down on retreat.
Reinforcements coming in for the Axis, though. There is another MG42 and another squad of Volks, but those Volks are going exceedingly low. That's a good push there from the Allies. Also, I just want to say, I like the choice to go for the munitions. We've seen airborne locked in, so with those SVT rifles, munitions are going to be necessary for them to get their early power spike. Not to mention the fact that Allied munitions can win the game. We've seen it happen. They've made it happen. And Gondor know what they need right now. But map control is definitely going in their favor. They're about to have the VP advantage, I believe. No,
well,
it's Bagno. I've got the
yeah.
Bagno captured the mid. That was my mistake. But even so, close game so far.
It was Gondor for a brief period of time, but Bagno quick to. There was actually an engineer battle between pioneers and combat engineers of Soviet Russia, but the pioneers come out. Pioneer squad comes out on top. Yeah, it looks like Gondor really keeping up with the aggression as the Allied side, and I like to see it. The Universal Carrier, the Vickers up here, but Baghdad's getting a little more solidified on the southern side of the map, putting up some green cover sandbags from the Volks. We do have a nice forward ambulance here from USF, which is a critical component to a stable front line for the Allies.
It's a critical component to the Gondorian tactics
way
as
of
well.
being, yeah.
They love their forward operations, and we see it on both Allied and Axis. I think the ambulance has to be one of the better forward operations base. It's mobile, it heals, it reinforces. It's a war crime to destroy it, but people do it anyway. You know, it's got those benefits. I like the bar on the captain here. Get that early spike in weapons. Yeah.
Nice use of the flame
Gondor
grenade.
Gondor really focusing on upgrading their infantry early. And what troops they've got in the field. We've got the Universal Carrier teching the machine gun. I'm not going to say which machine gun it is, because I'm going to say the wrong machine gun, knowing me.
It's Vickers.
It's a Vickers, yeah, of course it is.
A lot of emphasis being put on the VPs, probably as a consequence of last game. But Gondor showing a strong aggression, forcing off this MG. Now they're going to force off Sturms and a mortar. They're going to take this fuel. They're going to take the VP. Bagno coming in with a decap on the top. Here comes Universal Carrier of the Vickers. Gondor looking very strong in their early aggression.
Yeah. I like to see it. They're bringing the fight back, and they're a point down already, so they need to make a push like this. And I like this over-aggression. It's working out well for them right now. Plus, they're keeping a hold of those munitions. Their troops are only going to get stronger as those weapon upgrades come in. Fallschirmjägers, though, coming down.
Yeah. I mean, right now, Bagno is like in full retreat. Almost no frontline presence at the moment.
Yeah, and again, it kind of comes down to Gondor's use of that ambulance pushed up. They don't have to retreat their men as far. They can soft retreat back to a point where they can heal. They can keep their troops on the field longer. We've got an airborne rally point coming down for Rallinator. They really love these forward operation bases. And although Bagno did well to counter them last time, now with the Axis, they're actually struggling.
In typical Gondor fashion, we got a fighting position coming down, which will very likely be upgraded with a machine gun to hold this fuel. Going to be a staple to their doctrine, their style of play. Bagno really is struggling to really show any sort of organization as a team right now. Maybe they're a little bit taken aback at how far they've been pushed back, but even the troops that they're bringing up seem to be a little scattered. I'd like to see an organized attack, because they don't want to get forced off again. They'll really fall behind on VPs. They are managing to cap middle, though. I'm surprised Gondor actually has no presence protecting that VP.
I appreciate the Brit player teching 5-man squads early. it goes relatively hit or miss in this tournament, where people would not choose to do that. I think it really helps the British infantry power spike, considering it's their only real frontline unit available, whereas a lot of forces and factions have multiple frontline units. Brits just have the Tommy, so getting that power spike early, I think, is necessary, and I'd like to see that. Got push coming in on the fuel, though, on the other side.
Yeah, Raketin took out the fighting position. It's a nice pickup. Waste of manpower for the USF player. And a 2-2-2 out.
Did the fighting position have a machine gun or not?
No, not yet.
Okay.
It looks like another fighting position is going to go down to the 2-2-2.
Yeah, good use of the light vehicle.
But a Beaufort's going up north. That's going to be tough to deal with.
We've had all the commanders locked in as well. Let me just run through those allies. We've got the British have gone for a commando regiment. Interesting choice. And the USF have gone for the heavy cavalry. Any lock-ins on your side?
We have two commanders for Bagnov, Festung Support and Luftwaffe Ground Forces, but two other players still yet to choose. This 2-2-2 is doing absolute work on the south, forcing a lot of retreating allied units.
Oh, wow, I didn't notice that. Krautmower goes half health in the center. The Boldicus's ZSU M17 with the AA gun goes half health to a group of Luftwaffe, not Luftwaffe, Fallschirmjägers. But look at this conscript blob coming in through the center. Hoorah! Ready to die for the Radina here, and they're gonna come up against nothing.
Oh, there's a mine. They're gonna walk right over that. Unless...
Oh, this is gonna be dangerous.
Oh! 3 models down with an MG42 facing their direction.
Honestly, could have been worse.
We got the Vickers coming up as well, putting pressure on the half track. All the conscripts essentially suppressed except for one, but there's infantry sections behind. This is really good aggression from Gondor. And they do take out the MG42. The Vickers doing absolute work. These Grenadiers don't stand a chance.
That suppression upgrade as well.
Oh, a Stuka countering.
This could be devastating. Is it going to hit anything?
Oh, no.
No, UC dodges it. Yeah, it's 15 munitions extra to make sure for a small amount of time that Vickers on that UC can suppress units. And it is worth every penny, and they're proving that right now. It's a Vet 3 UC. Chat wanted it, it arrived. And now we've got Brit Arty going down on that mechanized regiment. Mr. Jones is having a bad day right now. His Fallschirmjägers don't think they can repel this. Fallschirmjäger's going extremely low.
Wow.
Get out.
Gondor just making insane progress up there up north. Bagno does manage to decap the bottom VP. Middle's still completely empty. One engineer squad in the middle, but obviously Bagno is having a lot to deal with. They do snare the Universal Carrier, which is now Vet 3. 13 kills on that bad boy. Can Bagno take advantage with a bit of a counterattack here? I don't know. This is a big uphill battle for them. 2-2-2 gets snared by the conscripts.
Can't push in there though. There's a lot supporting that 2-2-2.
You know, I think Bagno with the Stuka is not going to help them enough. They needed light tanks or something to help push off the infantry. The Stuka is too much of a gamble, too much RNG trying to get some hits. They need something to aggressively push off this offensive.
I would have liked to seen a Puma or a Lux out for them. I think the mobility of it and the suppression there would have been much better than the Stuka, which right now hasn't done a lot for them.
No.
And honestly, I'd be picking the Puma over the Lux right now, because at this point you'd be expecting medium tanks to be coming out soon. At least the Puma has the ability to penetrate a bit more.
Now Gondor does have control of essentially the whole map, but there is a fuel cache down for Bagno, maybe a glimmer of hope, and a T-34 in production for Gondor. That could really help solidify this win.
Yep, something I will say as well though, the VPs right now, so in Gondor's favor. Skippy, something happened overnight, because suddenly we've gone from a very Axis-sided tournament to an Allies-sided one, and I can't quite explain why.
Yeah, you know what, to be honest, I can't either. I mean, I think it's just... I don't know, I can only theorize at this point, but I think Gondor, with their Axis side, were winning the late game engagements, but because of the early VP win, it helped the Allies pull it out. But somehow the Allies have snowballed this early game, all of the early game engagements essentially. And you know what Gondor did is they used the middle to flank, which is something that wasn't done in the first game. And I think that helps really add some chaos to the front lines, and it allows the Axis, or it forces the Axis to not hide behind MG42s. It really mixes things up.
And I think it also comes down a lot to the fact that they focus the munitions over the fuel in this game. They know that the Allies' strength is in munitions, getting those weapon upgrades to really, really hard counter those Axis infantry, and it's proved well. I mean, Ralanator didn't even tech at first. He just opted to get more conscripts out with those SVT rifle upgrades, and they've been doing some serious work. Same with the USF being able to get bar upgrades early, and it's proved potent.
Bagno's not done. They've capped 2 VPs, but another poor build order choice. There's a second Stuka that has been produced, and very little in the side of AT, so they can't handle this T-34. There's only 2 AT guns on the field. Oh, but the T-34 hits a mine in double Fausts. It's at risk of going down all of a sudden.
It's here so comes low, and there is a rack, but I think it's going to be stopped by those. No, those Rangers are retreating, so there is nothing. Oh no, USF Blob coming in.
Man,
it's gonna
close call.
That is the luckiest T-34 I think we've had in the entire tournament. Oh, there's a Pack 40 pushing up though, through the middle, unseen. Is he going to push it? Is he going to try and see that T-34?
Oh man, he should. Here comes a Stuka. Maybe the Stuka's going for the T-34. That could finish it. Nope.
There's another T-34 on the other side though, and Mr. Jones is just back in the base. A glider has landed. They can reinforce there. Double Maxims, universal character. Tommy's coming up with their Brens. This is painful, and I think the Tommies might try and steal this Pack 40 over here as well. Just deny them of that extra AT.
Yeah, the Axis side just really have nothing in the way of AT. I think the double Stuka was going to be their downfall. I don't see any more AT in production either.
No, a lot of their AT is currently dead on the field. Which if they can push out, they might be able to pick back up, but at the same time, yeah, it feels a bit risky. But also notice, other than those T-34s, Allies aren't really focusing medium tanks. They're making deal with their infantry still.
Absolutely. This universal carrier causing so much trouble. 18 kills, Vet 3. Does get Fausted again. There's a rack. Maybe this could help take it out. Oh, and the carrier does go down, finally.
Flank coming in there from Tyrone. Pushing behind that UC. Really putting the nail in the coffin. STG's upgraded on those Volks. They're coming around. Gonna meet some commandos who do have the Bren specialization. That Tommy squad getting wiped there. And those commandos are just gonna be forced all the way back.
Gondor definitely appears to be running away with this one. Short of a miracle from Bagno. But down to 230 points.
These SVT rifle conscripts have just been devastating.
Absolutely. Increasing the range, and they're vetted as well. T-34 takes a rack hit. I got to imagine Bagnow's thinking about the next game.
Yeah, at this point.
There's just not a lot you can do. I mean, it would require Gondor to make some serious mistakes, which is possible with the T-34, but now a Pershing is out. I mean, oh my goodness. They definitely can't deal with this. They built another Panzerwerfer, Bagno did. Two of the players haven't picked commanders. I think, yeah, they're just...
I don't think that's the right choice, and there's a Pershing's out. Like, they need something serious to be able to take that out, and they haven't got it.
People in chat are saying we missed the T-34 base raid, killing a Stuka and a mortar half-track. And I do.
Really?
I see the evidence of it here. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
The heroic corpse.
A lot more AT on the field now, but now I think they're at risk where they don't have the infantry left.
Warford's targeting these conscripts, I assume. Nope, not the support weapons. Man. Aggression.
Both is going down in the center. Oof.
Yeah, that's a nail in the coffin. So it'll be interesting to see. Side switching again. Actually, no.
And map change, right?
It will be a map change. Yeah. I'll have to take a look at what the who was faction pick. I believe Team 2's Bagno should be the faction pick on this next batch. Gondor will be map pick. Cromwell does hit a mine. Double Cromwell's there though.
Well.
Axis just have no AT. Oh wait, there's a rack there.
Cromwell does take some big hits. But there's nothing to do with that second Cromwell. And yeah, just Bofors in the center and the left VP. So it feels like a nail in the coffin. I think at this point, Bagno know it, and they are just preparing for their next game. They're going to try because obviously this is the grand finals. They can't give up yet. But the VPs are really against them right now. So it's going to be 1-1, which means we're definitely going to see at least 4 games, and I'm excited by that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, both teams showing a lot of promise. Good fight. T-34 takes out another Panzerwerfer up north. The early aggression paying off huge for Gondor this match. You gotta wonder if that's gonna be affecting Bagno. It seemed like Gondor had the upper hand in the late game fights of game 1 as well, but the early VP advantage is what allowed Bagno. But you can't take it away. I mean, Bagno could have been sacrificing units as a means of just delaying and continuing the VP bleed. So I don't want to overemphasize that per se. But I think this is what Allies got to do. Beat the Axis early before they can get any heavy tanks on the field. I mean, heck, I don't even think Bagno got 1 medium tank on the field.
Yeah, it was honestly such a good use of the Allies' bonuses, because being able to get those upgraded weapons has really dominated this map.
We are close to defeat. 25 points remaining.
Yeah, well played to Gondor. I mean, what else can you say? I hope Bagno is saving some mental energy.
Yeah, it's just so many tanks on the field right now. Look at this T-34, double T-34, double Cromwell, and that's going to be the game coming up very, very soon. 2-1.
Game 2 goes to Gondor, calls for aid. We are 1-1 here in the grand finals. You'd love to see it. This is a best of 5. So potentially 3 more games coming up.
Yeah, we've got a confirmed 4th game for sure now that it's 1-1, which means the possibility of 5-game grand final is getting ever closer. And oh boy, isn't it a weird one? We've had 2 allied wins to start us off on today. In what everyone's been calling the most Axis-sided tournament and the most Axis-sided build of Company of Heroes 2, we've gone and changed that, and only that could happen in King of the Noobs. Good use of munitions there for the allies. Excellent use of the allies bonus there, and good comeback there from Gondor. And Bagno now they get the faction pick. Did you say?
Yes, I need to confirm that, but that is what I believe is happening. It will be Bagno with the faction pick, Gondor with the map pick. 1 second, I can actually confirm this real quick. Yeah, game 3, yeah. Bagno will be the faction pick, Gondor will be the map and side pick, and we can actually tease that right now. So, Bagno has chosen Axis, and Gondor has chosen the map of Steppes. That will be where game 3 takes place. Steppes has gotten a lot of showing in the tournament so far, which is surprising. I thought it would be one of the lesser picked maps. But we're heading there again for our game 3.
Yeah, Steppes is that map that actually Bagno and Gondor have both gotten a lot of wins on, purely because they're 2 teams that pay attention to the entire map and they favor that munitions side, and it's brought them the wins quite a lot. I'm looking forward to seeing this matchup because both teams have both had very strong Steppes games, and this really could be interesting.
Absolutely. For those of you just tuning in, on the line is $400 cash for first place, 4 copies of Total War 3 Kingdoms, 1 for each player, and 100,000 Kotu supply coins for each player as well. In order for the players to qualify to play in the tournament, they had to have less than 2,000 hours in the game and 500 ranks or worse in 1v1s and 2v2s, or being unranked. So guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. We'll be back after this with game 3 of the grand finals, tied up 1-1 in a best of 5. We'll see you guys soon. All right, ladies and gentlemen, noobs and noobettes, welcome back to the grand finals of the King of the Noobs tournament. We are heading into game 3 of Bagno versus Gondor Calls for Aid, tied up 1-1. Allied sides winning both times on Whiteball Express. One was a late game win by Bagno, and one was an early game win by Gondor, which is surprising. How are you feeling about the matchup so far, Midge?
And then short in that second game. But having said that, Bagno are far from out of this. And now moving over to the Steppes, it's going to be a completely different play style, completely different builds, completely different commanders. So, what are we going to see? And again, I'm excited. This is definitely going to 4 games. Hopefully, it'll go to 5 because these teams are tightly matched, and this is a very good matchup. I'm looking forward to it.
Yes, and Midge, I have to apologize. I had you muted during the first half of your sentence, which Chat pointed out. Thank you, Chat. I'm sorry. I have to mute him during commercial breaks, otherwise his mic will be live. So, but I definitely agree with what he was saying, even though you couldn't hear it. Guys, thank you so much for tuning in. This has been a pleasure to host the tournament, and I also want to give Midge a shout out for being with me through this whole tournament. He's casted pretty much every game except for a couple matchups. Please head over to his channel, twitch.tv/MidgeMan. If one of you guys in chat could spam that link for us and give Midge a follow just to show your support and thank you for being involved. This is his actually both of our shoutcasting debuts. So to have your support and to be following the channels is much appreciated. With that, I think we get into game 3.
Yeah,
I'm excited. Let's build the hype, guys. This is a big momentum potential for both teams to come away with game 2, because then the pressure is on. The team after this cannot lose, so they will be the loser of the grand finals. Okay, let's get into game 3, boys. As we said, we are heading into steps. Both teams tied 1-1. Midge, I will be starting on the Allies. I'm live 4 or 5 seconds in now. Let's take a look at factions. We got a Brit-Soviet, 2 Soviets, and USF with an immediate commander lock-in of mechanized support by Boldicus. I think that's a smart choice. ISU 152, always a good choice in big team games. And no early teching from the Soviet player here. 1 weapon support companion, so it looks like we'll probably see some conscripts opening here. What are we seeing on the other side?
As always, our standard complement to OKW2 Wehrmacht. Both Wehrmacht choosing to tech this time. We've got MG42s already coming out on the field. Definitely needed on steps. There's a lot of avenues to be flanked from, and you need those MGs to lock down the points. The thing I'm most interested in, though, is where the players are lining up. We have players on the Axis side going for every side of the map, and the same for the Allies. We're going to see combat all across the map on steps, and it's not something you always see. It does seem, though, that this is Bagno, who are on the Axis right now, are looking to favor some more troops to the center without sending only 1 person to the island and 1 person to that munitions side VP and center VP. We've got 2 pushing for the fuel in the center, it seems.
Yeah, this has been the most interesting part of casting the matches of steps, is to see how the consequence of not allocating enough resources to the top VPs can really hurt you in the late game, as the VP bleed is always a factor, it seems, on steps because of these top 2 VPs. Whereas early game, there's such a temptation to focus on the fuel in order to get the vehicle advantage, but you really can pay the price dearly if you do that for too long. And we do see early focus on this top VP by Gondor and Bagno. Both of them sending some engineers up there, but we do have more of a presence here from Gondor with the conscripts. Early middle fuel capture by Bagno.
Yeah, Bagno's put a lot of effort into this middle fuel. 2 players fighting for that against the Tommies. That's a really good matchup, though, to be fair. 2v1 versus the Brits cannot really be done. Not to mention the fact that Hoyer MD is locking down the middle VP. So currently, VPs are going to be in favor of Gondor, but there seems to be more Bagno troops in aid of the center and what will soon be the top, compared to Gondor, who have got 2 players on the island. But speaking of that, on the island, Thrur is in mass retreat.
Yeah, so obviously Gondor favoring top and bottom, but Bagno just captures the middle fuel and they send their infantry hordes up north. It looks like they are essentially giving up the bottom island to Gondor. And I think that actually is the right play. Look at these conscripts, though, really pushed up. They're about to get flanked by some Volksgrenadiers. They're going to have a long retreat path through enemy territory.
Yeah, and through an MG42 if they go the wrong side of these trees. Oh, good grenade as well in the center, just off camera. Grenadiers almost wiping a Tommy squad and pushing that UC back. That UC obviously being teched. That UC with that tech of the Vickers. I almost had to correct myself again there. With the Vickers there was potent last game. Is it going to do the same here on steps? These conscripts running for their lives. I don't think they're going to get away with it. Nope. Run! No.
Oh my gosh, that's a big loss. And this second one's at risk too. Look at this gauntlet he's having to retreat through. That's always the risk of getting too far behind enemy lines on a big map like this. Could be a big early loss for Gondor to lose 2 conscripts. God, the Vickers Universal Carrier coming to offer some support, but my gosh, what a... It does get away.
Skin of his teeth.
Yeah.
Skin of his teeth. He makes it back to Moscow. And now that UC, it's relatively outnumbered with the amount of troops around. And we've got Pioneers now recapping the other VP in this north. This is good play by Bagno. I like to see it. However, we do have Gondor pushing all the way up and recapping the fuel, with fuel favor now going to Gondor.
Yeah, Gondor's definitely favoring the fuel advantage. Bagno seems to be favoring more of the VPs at the moment.
It won them their first game.
Yeah, this is exactly what we saw in game 1. It is. It's really interesting how little fighting is happening down south. It's really unopposed. You can tell.
You see at risk here. There's a rack.
Ooh.
Oh, rack just misses.
Wow.
Eltrix gets away with that. He was microing something else, I think, and didn't see the first rack hit. The second rack missed, and then he reacted. That could have been devastating. That would have been 200 manpower and 60 munitions wasted. But look at these conscripts on the flank here. Brit artillery coming down. Now Hoyer MD is looking in trouble as these SVT rifle upgraded conscripts move in. Oh, we've had commander lock-ins, that means. Got allied commander lock-ins almost across the board. Obviously, we've got airborne troops again for Radinator. Eltrix going for commandos again. You've already said Bogus, but no commander lock-ins for the Axis side as of yet. MG42 did go down in the center here, but the Axis stand their ground.
Yeah, you can see the Allies getting very aggressive on the south, anticipating the weakness that they've seen. There's an MG42 still a player. We got Thor coming up there to offer some resistance so that they can't have it for free. And a big counterattack now coming in from Bagno on the center fuel. And they should be able to take that pretty easily. One conscript in the way of 4 squads. And a scout car coming out for the Axis.
Tyrona's locked in grand offensive doctrine. For those Panzer Fusiliers, the smoke bombs, all around decent choice. We've seen that a lot in this tournament. Normally we see it popped very, very early to get those Panzer Fusiliers out, especially on steps. But still a good choice nonetheless.
Carrier goes down to the rack. Sneaky beaky, like right up the middle. That's a big loss for the Allies. And we also have another scout car and a flak half-track in production. So Bagno going to be more invested in light vehicles this time, and they're going to have more room to run with that universal carrier out of the picture. We'll see if that can help them gain even more of a map control here. And that one scout car is attacking the south, which is a good choice because resistance is light.
Bagno really wanted that UC dead as vengeance of last game. We've got some Volks up in the center with STG upgrades almost wiping a Brit infantry squad. Yeah, that I think there was just too much focus for Eltrix there. He just miscommunicated with himself, and the micro wasn't there for the UC this time. 222 here as well in the center.
Excellent use. On a big map, these light vehicles are so powerful with the flanking opportunities. We do have a quad car out, which could do considerable damage to the 222 if he doesn't get out of the way. He's taking light fire from the infantry as well. Yeah,
that 222 needs to get out of there. What is there to back it up, though? Don't think there's any. There's none of the ATs on this side of the map.
No, he's got to get out of there. Big counterattack from Gondor.
Massive infantry pushes on the other side as well, though. Conscripts coming in, being stopped by a 222. A joint conscript Tommy offensive is meeting a flak half-track from the Axis here.
And the scout car forcing 3 Soviet squads in retreat, with backed up by 3 grenadiers. Excellent job by Bagno here, controlling this north side of the map.
Yeah, just off camera as well there. There's the flak half-track pushing up as well to put pressure. And great use of the light vehicles here to counter the big infantry swarms. They are not falling for it this time. Bagno know that they can't let Gondor have their troop advantage early game. And it's proving right.
I think this is the correct map positioning from Bagno. You want the top 2 VPs, you want the munis, and you've extended down to the middle fuel. You're getting the best of all the worlds. I think this is the correct way to play steps, in my personal opinion. And they are keeping the aggression up. Rifle grenade going down on this lone Vickers. Scout car harassing it. How is Gondor going to respond? They do have the bottom now secured. I imagine they're going to start rotating. And here comes the Soviets from the south.
Yeah, Boldicus pushing out from those trees. His quad car just pushed from that angle as well. I'm surprised nothing rotated to stop that. And now these guards and conscripts are going to be in the back lines here of the Axis. But the half-track is moving up.
Yeah. Great use of that half-track coming out of middle to support the holding the fuel. Really heads-up play there. Good use. Good way to keep an eye on all different parts of the map and to move that where it's needed. Oh, I hear a vehicle. It's another scout car.
I
Same
think
scout
it's the
car.
same one repaired,
Same one, yeah.
We do have AT guns now coming out for Eltrix and Rallinator on this top side of the map. And a major already out for Mini-Me, who has also teched Heavy Cavalry Company, which means he can start earning his way to his Pershings if he really wanted to.
More conscripts at risk of going down to the scout car and retreat. Such a dangerous aspect to being aggressive on big maps like this, and it does. Conscript goes down. I feel like Gondor has been on the bad side of losses in terms of squads. Oh, Half-Track gets a mine in the south. It's now vulnerable. Does have a lot of infantry to support it though. Oh, and
Plus
even
a
more
2-2-2.
coming in. Looks like Bagnow's keen to attack the south side.
Yeah, I think they want to destabilize the position on the island just to give Thur some breathing room, who out of their team has been taking the most losses. That Kraut mower needs to get out of there. It's danger, it's danger, dying. And
the Germans are coming.
yeah, they're in force. The human wave tactics being used against the Soviets. USF trying to come in and reply. Good note that all of the USF infantry there has bars, so they will start tearing through. But that one has got the worst retreat path possible.
Man.
And it goes down. There's some bars there that can be picked up as well.
Gondor has been losing so much infantry.
Brits in trouble in the center as well. Flank half-track and a massive swarm of Volks just wiping them out there. They're in full retreat. Conscripts in full retreat on the north. It's an allied retreat right now.
Notice Bagnow's infantry across the board, upgraded with weapons. All the Volks seem to have Stugs. The Grenadiers have MG42s, and they are shredding the allied infantry.
Well, this is what Gondor did to them in the previous matchup, just as the allies. And they tried to do it again. Oh, 222 goes down to a Zis gun. Sneaky max range hit there on its rear. But yeah, it's proving powerful to do so. But we do have a Cromwell out. It's getting snared.
The Cromwell is a great choice. This is what they need to counter all this infantry. Though he is snared, that's going to put him out of commission for a bit. We have a Raquette in there to help force him back. Bagnow's showing some serious map control. They're about to get that double muni back. They still have their middle fuel, and they're decapping the bottom fuel.
What I will say, though, is VPs are still very close. They haven't let the VP advantage go, and this game is tight. Map control currently in Bagnow's favor, but we got a T-34 out and a Cromwell out. And now the medium tanks against the light vehicles of the Axis. Could this be where the swing is?
Yeah, I think this probably is a calculated play by Gondor. They're allowing a little bit of hurt and pain in terms of map control in order to save up for these medium vehicles. Probably calculating that Bagnow has invested into the light vehicles, and they would have an advantage by saving. And I think we might see some counterattacks here. Here comes a Cromwell fully repaired. Smoke's going down in the MG. Nice there by Bagnow's.
Chat was asking if the Brits have locked in Bofors. They have not picked between the AEC and Bofors yet.
I actually don't even know how to check for that.
You click the commander and then you can
toggle their buildings.
click their command. Yeah. Pop through their buildings.
Says you how much of a noob I am. Oh, this T-34.
Getting a run. Oof. Those Obras are in trouble as well now. T-34 really changing the game. Pack 14 needs to set up. Cromwell coming around these trees behind, just off camera. It's going to find those retreating
in range of the T-34. Can it fire max range shot? No. T-34 just gets away.
And look at this. Commander using the assault for 70 munitions, sorry. Getting that extra accuracy and movement on the Tommy squad, getting them into the fight there to support the Cromwell. Unfortunately going to get stopped by the flak half-track, but red smoke is going down.
That's Brit base already going to be hammering. That's going to prevent Bagnow. Oh, and an Ogre goes down. Oh, that's a big loss. All of a sudden, Gondor coming out with some serious counterattacks. Looks like Bagnow's going to offer stiff resistance on the south. Should be able to take that back.
Gondor called for aid. And medium armor replied.
Great use by the Comet Spoke to blind the Raketten on his retreat. And here comes Gondor up north. Not going to ignore that VP. I like to see it. Gondor's about to have a triple cap on the VPs.
Yeah,
but
this
Bagno's
could really
going to have
swing
both
the
fuels.
game. Bagno's going to have no fuel and no medium tanks.
Bagno's about to have both fuels.
Oh, both fuels. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well, honestly, they need it. They need to get some tanks on the field here. I'd like to see some Panthers pop, I think, for Bagno.
Yeah, no tanks in production. It actually just produced a Panzerwerfer, which I think is an incorrect choice, given the Cromwell and T-34 in the field, and the pain that they got in a second T-34 now, but I don't think they've seen that one. A Panzerwerfer definitely at risk.
Yeah, they've been countering a lot of this infantry, so Panzerwerfer feels like the wrong choice. Maybe now that the Allies have started to get their weapon tanks, maybe they're thinking that they can't deal with them as much, but even so.
Oh, it's a big Werfer hit, though!
Look at... We said it was the wrong
kills.
choice, but that's a massive pickup.
10 kills!
And that infantry can keep pushing.
Oh my gosh, that definitely opened a window for Bagno, proving us wrong, putting that to excellent use. Here comes the quad car to suppress this infantry, though. They're not going to make it very far with these tanks and the Cromwell. Look at how much, even more infantry coming.
Yeah. Even though that was a massive pickup, there's not much that can deal with the vehicles here. Oh, okay. Tyrone's infantry going danger low there.
Here's the problem. Yep. Now the retreat path on a huge map, and they have nothing. There's a Rakett in there, but it's not enough. 2 squads are at 1. Oh my gosh, the Cromwell just wiped 5 models, and there's 2 1 models on retreat. The Cromwell's in pursuit.
And the black half-track's there. The black half-track's there. It's going to be in trouble. He needs to get that out of there. It's got too many tanks facing it down. It takes a big hit there from the Cromwell. T-34 is just
Cromwell goes down.
Max range rack.
Wow, how did it have vision? What in the world?
The physics
oh,
of
attacked the ground.
Too.
He attacked ground. That was definitely out of vision. Wow. That Cromwell before it died, though, one shot wiped about 5 models, an entire squad. Jeez Louise.
Rather splendid Cromwell tank, but we do have Panthers now on the field for the Axis. We've got Tyrone coming out with the first Panther. This is the right call. The fast-moving tank-on-tank combat is going to be necessary, and a Panther is the perfect choice for that.
This Panther could go in for the crush on all these infantry sections. There's no AT to stop him. There's
also a Brumbar on the island out.
A Brumbar? I think that is an interesting choice. Especially in the south, there's really no AT. That Brumbar could make its way all the way to the ambulance.
And I think that's what it needs. They're really trying to counter Mimi. Sorry, Mini-Me. Not Mimi.
Interestingly, though, Gondor is holding 2 VPs, so they do have the bleed on Bagno at the moment.
Red smoke coming down.
Gondor loves their British artillery.
I think both sides love their British artillery.
Yeah. A huge counterattack from the USF on the bottom.
That flak half-track is doing a number. Those Tommies are going low.
USF are enjoying a stolen MG42, which is really helping them hold this bottom fuel now. Suppressing
Rangers
3 Grenadiers. Yep.
Su-85 being built by Boldicus.
We lost the Brumbar died.
The Brumbar died?
Yeah. I totally missed it, but there's the corpse, sure enough. Here comes the second volley from the Panzerwerfer.
I'm guessing those Rangers got it.
Less impressive hit for the support weapons. Minor damages there. Yeah, it could have been the Rangers.
Commanders locked in. Yeah, we've finally got some commanders locked in for the Axis. We've got Joint Operations Doctrine and Fortifications Doctrine. Interesting choice there from Mr. Jones. Maybe going for that Pat 43. A second Panther out for him as well.
One of the players in chat was saying IL-2 strike and mark target got the Brumbar. Bagno's coming to double Panthers now in the center. wanting to push.
Smoked off
gun.
that Dishka.
Yeah.
But look at these conscripts. They've taken both munition points right now.
Oh, a big dive from the allies on the bottom, but the quad car goes down to the Shreks. Now this T-34 is in risk. Oh, it's snare. There's an AT gun in Shreks. This could be a little bit of an overextension from Gondor. Double Shrek. Yeah, that T-34 is in serious trouble.
Major combat in the middle. Is this barrage almost wiping some Volks?
Good use of the heavy cav smoke to cover the retreating T-34, but a Panther's there to pick it up.
It's White Foss coming in. That's the mortar cover actually from the commandos.
So Sherman Firefly out.
Yeah, that
mortar
smoke
pits out.
damages whoever goes through that. That's the mortar cover from Eltrix's commandos there. Don't know if it hit anything, but it does block people pushing in. Oh, look at these conscripts pushing those AT guns. They're going to have to get out of there.
So one thing Bagno needs to do is explore this top, and they are. The top has been open for quite some time. Double
assault coming in
munis.
from the commandos. They're going to get their extra speed. Here comes the Tommy push.
Oh, there's a Werfer right there. There's a flak half track that's going to suppress him just on the edge of their vision.
And they've seen it. There's tank. They're going to get suppressed, but the Firefly pushing up and an Su-85 as well.
But there's a Raquette in there. And double Panthers.
This could be a dangerous engagement.
Firefly dangerously low. The Su-85 takes a
Panther half
Raquette.
health.
Now Bagno's going to go
T-34 in the center.
take this top VP for free. Two AT guns, vulnerable with no support here. Gondor is sending airborne troops to PPSH to shred them.
Another Brombar out.
The enemy is gaining a foothold. We have lost a pack gun.
One pack gun goes down. The Soviets trying to steal it, but there's a Brumbar to say hello. Oh, I think this might be an IL-2 strike. And it is a rocket run. The edge of the map just clips the Brumbar.
Yeah, scratches the paintwork there. There's a Tiger the other side of the bushes to that Brumbar though. It's
Oh.
poking his head through the middle. Hello, big cat.
Ripping
Gliders
through the trees.
landing. Gliders
Oh.
landing on the top VP right now. Here come some commandos. Luckily this time it didn't land. We've seen this happen before, I think, for a bit. It kept landed in red cover, but it hasn't this time. Just also want to point out the 222 from Thur is Vet 3 with 17 kills.
So interestingly, I think Bagno has the stronger army composition, but Gondor is keeping a firmer grasp on the VPs and bleeding them.
Yeah.
Ooh, Firefly lands a big hit on the Tiger.
Brombar versus commandos.
Comes the Werfer. Working up another shot. Looks like it's going to land on the Dishka, wiping it out. Got another Panther in production for Bagno. These T-34s not looking so hot now.
Enemies are swarming one of our emplacements.
There's only a Firefly and an Su-85 in terms of tank destroyers for the Allies.
Yeah, I think Mini-Me is saving for his Pershings. Well, look at his fuel, his manpower. But he's taking such a large amount of infantry losses against Thur, who's really going toe-to-toe with him on the island there.
A German plane kamikazes directly into a half-track.
The Vet 3 222 is at risk. Rangers on its flank. Volley of 3 bazookas. It goes up. Big push on the island from this infantry.
Oh, but here comes a Werfer to counter right on top of that U.S. infantry. Oh, it just barely misses, though. That could have been devastating.
Big push in the center as well coming in here. These Tommies, all of them very low. Still pushing in. Red smoke going down.
Interesting to point out, A lot of the Gondor calls for aid players, over 200 fuel. Oh, a ram from the T-34, red smoke coming on the Tiger. I assume this is another rocket run. It is, Tiger. It goes down. Huge, huge play.
Yeah, Gondor again showing us how the Allies take down their heavy tanks. They are masters of destroying heavy tanks with call-ins.
Panther in pursuit of a Firefly, frantically in retreat. Yeah, this is what we've seen from Gondor on this exact same map. Panzerwerfer response, taking out AT guns. And a 6-man conscript squad just removed.
Oh, wow.
Holy. Bagno responds right back.
Pershings is out on the field, making his way onto the island.
Whew.
Wow. What a game so far.
A lot of tanks in need of repairs. Bagno's starting to get on this middle VP. Currently no drain on either team. But Bagno is behind. 413 to 244. Brumbar forcing off 3 conscript squads. They could pursue this. I don't think he's gonna be fast enough though. Oh, look at the wave of Axis infantry heading towards the middle fuel.
Yeah, I think if they can secure this middle fuel, they're going to find a lot of things. Panzerschreck's just up on the hill ahead of this. Opposite side of the valley, they found a mortar pit. They're going to try to destroy that. There's a Panther moving up into support. This is a big push through the center. I think they're looking to split Gondor's lines. And it's a good choice. They're destroying the munitions cache that's here. Oh, White Boss coming down.
Yep.
This is the mortar cover from the commandos again. That's going to really rip up the infantry. And look at this reply.
Look at the Brits, the Terminators with Brens. But honestly,
Yeah.
oh, ISU 152 on the field heading up north.
Yeah, this northern flank is the best place for this ISU 152. Massive open ground. It's going to be able to get many shots off. Only a Brumbar facing an SU-85 and ISU 152 plus 3 conscript squads. They need to send something to reply. I think 2 Panzerwerfers are heading that way, but I don't know what there is about AT.
A fresh SU-85 also joining the ranks up north. Yeah, for a moment there, it felt like Gondor was a little bit repulsed and looking weak. All of a sudden, these tanks entering the field, showing some mighty strength. They're ready to get VPs back on their side, and this Brumbar is in danger.
Yeah, we got a Brit assault coming in. That was those planes going over, giving vision for the entire team and giving the speed boost for the British infantry. However, straight away replied by Obers and Volks there. But it does mean that the heavy tanks, they found the Brumbar on the other flank. The vision showed them that there was nothing there. They are pushing back. But there's
Double
2 AT guns. SU-85 is going dope, but there's red smoke landing on those AT guns. There's also Panzerwerfers right there as well.
Oh, IL-2 bomb strike takes out one of the AT guns. Could have been worse.
Pershings is trying to push into the back lines as well over the island. They've skipped in. They're really harassing. There's a weak Panther, I'm guessing, went toe-to-toe with it.
You know, it's interesting. I mean, Bagno has just learned about this heavy tank presence up north, but there's really no movement of the tank. There's no movement of any of their Panthers. No response at the moment yet.
And look, there's a Pershings going for a dive. It's going to find a weak Panther right now.
Uh-oh, and a Werfer.
Yeah, it hasn't seen the Worthy yet.
Oh my gosh,
what's Panther?
That's a big pickup. Oh, the Shreks do come in to force it back.
Look how close this ISU 152 and SU-85 is. And Rallinator's stolen a Pack 40.
Yeah, I just saw that. Half-track still alive. Definitely a lull in the battle now. Allies have the triple cap. Bagno needing to respond. They have all the Panthers, though. They need to assemble these Panthers and cut off some of these tanks on the top, but my goodness. 3 AT guns, though. They're being hit by an LEFH.
Here comes another assault. Gonna use that to see what they can see.
That flak half-track doing more harm than good, causing those recon planes to crash in their base. But the LEFH has found this rallying point from the Soviet player and is just hammering it. Look, IL-2 bomb strike comes in, takes out the LEFH. So it was a combined recon IL-2 bomb strike. Nice play by Gondor.
There's still one LEFH up though.
And here comes the Bagno attack force up in the middle VPs. They're going to be met with 2 machine guns. Oh, but the Ober's on the flank. Nice coordinated attack.
Gondor just has so much tank presence right now.
Volk going down. I don't know why that Ober retreated. All of a sudden the Obers are scared. It must be the Centaur. Oh, Vet 3 Volk's on retreat. At risk. Goes down. That was a tough break for Bagno. Here comes the Panthers around the middle flank, though. They want to counter this. Targeting that Firefly first.
Both of those Panthers are on a hold fire. He's manually shooting, though. They're telling them when to shoot.
But they take out the Firefly, though. Gets the job done.
Yeah. Great tank micromanagement there. And this is what they needed. There's 4 Panthers in the center here. They can push this.
Yeah.
However, SU-85 and ISU-152 are responding. They're heading for the Brumbar.
There is a pack there. Misses his second shot. Those Panthers are really desperately needed up north, and now they're finally going. And they catch the ISU.
2 are still going. Yeah, 2 are still going through the center, trying to find that center. ISU-152 needs to get out of there. Those SU-85s are going to help give him cover.
This is a big gamble.
But the Panthers' mobility here, showing its strength against these.
The Panther's crewable.
Pam.
Could this Panther land the kill shot on the ISU? And it does. If they can get away with this Panther, it is a good trade, but the SUs are rotating. Pack misses a shot.
Yeah.
Oh, the Allies take the Panther. That is not good for Bagno.
No, it is not.
The trade no longer worth it. They have to take that out. This AT gun's gotta take that out.
Pressure
Main gun destroyed on the SU. All right, the stolen Panther goes down.
A lot of pressure being put on the center, so much so that the Pershings has had to rotate from the island, but the island is firmly in Allied control. There's fights breaking out all across the map here.
Oh, big retreat from the Gondor conscripts. The Vet 3s super hurt. This SU still very vulnerable.
Yeah, and there's a Panther right there as well. It's just killed the Kraut mower. It's going to keep pushing. It saw that SU-85. I think it's going to go try and dive for it.
That is a smart play. He's on the hunt. Bagno wants to get back into this game. They need to cap this top VP. We do have a Grenadier going near. Oh, this Panther, I think he's going to give up the chase. Doesn't know what's back there.
And just as I say that, oh, Gondor look like they've got the tank advantage. It gets completely swapped.
Yeah, Bagno putting those Panthers to use. That's what they needed to do. Use that mobility. But look at this. A fresh ISU coming out for Gondor. They have the resources.
Mini-Me is currently stretched extremely thin. Look at the entire flank that he's trying to cover. Luckily, no one is against him right now because of that push with the Panthers. But
big Werfer hit on those conscripts. These Brit infantry are absolutely insane. Vet 2s and 3s with these Brens. Absolutely gnarly.
Yeah, plus that assault when they get the accuracy and the speed boost, they're really deadly.
That's going to be a prime target for the Werfers, I'm sure. Bagno do manage to capture the VPs, but Gondor is there to take it back.
There's the assault going in. That's vision for everyone. Be idle of the IO2. IO2 coming in on the Square Panzer headquarters.
Pershing pokes its head out.
No, that's not IO2. That's air supremacy. That's the planes from the commander as well. They're really going to shred anything that's over there. Strikes coming down on the LFHD crews.
Oh my gosh.
That's going to be a dead... there's going to be a dead battle group headquarters and Schwer HQ, I think. Or have they just gotten away with their lives? I think they've just gotten away with it.
Gondor getting the decap with a stolen Raketten up north. Panthers, their attention has been drawn. A huge warfare hit on the south.
Oh my
Three
Lord.
squads.
Lots of Brombar hit coming in.
Decimated U.S. infantry.
Yeah,
Wow.
that's gonna leave the island very open. Although here comes the Pershings. It's found a Panther. The other Panther there is not focusing on it. They're going for the island.
The Panther, this is a good play. That now is the time to attack the south. This Pershing is in retreat. It can't handle all these Panthers. But the Panthers are rotating back.
Same time, Grenadiers push on the other side. Panther going toe-to-toe with a lot of rebuilt allied armor. There's Su-85s. 3 Su-85s in the ISU-152. One Panther cannot go toe-to-toe with that, especially as there's a Firefly there as well. Tanks now maneuvering that way.
Powers Panzerwerfers. One of them has 32 kills. One of them has 42 kills.
Brit infantry instantly retreating at the sound of those Panzerwerfers, but the Panzerwerfers weren't targeting them. They were going for the Maxim, trying to capture the VP. Island being recapped by Bagno. And they sorely need it. They are down to 129 VPs to the 347 of Gondor.
And Bagno, yeah, with the triple cap. So I just did the quick math. The Panzerwerfers have a combined 102 kills at the moment. And those are critical kills on vetted infantry that are coming in.
Mm-hmm.
Here comes the counterattack from Gondor in the south, the Pershing. And the slightly less numerical U.S. infantry.
It's 44 kills on those Tommies as well at the moment.
Those Tommies are just crazy to deal with. More Werfers coming down on this Liberation Force.
There's a sneaky stack of Panzergrens going through the trees on the island, trying to get round to the back of that repairing Pershings, I think.
Oh, a Jackson coming in for U.S. on the south. But Gondor showing some strength on the north. We got a couple Panthers lining up against an Su-85 and an ISU, but here comes some guard troops with upgraded... Uh-oh. What just went down?
Brumbar.
Brumbar went down and the U.S. is on the hunt. Here comes the Pershing and the Jackson.
Panzer Grenadiers in the back line. Unfortunately, they missed their Shreks on the Pershings as they pushed into the... right as they unveiled themselves, they pushed in to get the Brumbar.
A big dive! Panthers up north!
Yeah.
They took out something. Now they're going to take out this T-34, but T-34 goes for a ram. That's a smart play before he dies.
Yeah, one of the
ISU's rotating.
Su-85s goes down. But here comes the rotation of the anti-tanks there. Also wanted to point out there's a Bofors just went down on the VP.
Su-85
One Panther
goes down.
Yeah, the Su-85 goes down.
Bofors locks down the VP. That's smart. Panthers going for the flank of the ISU. Nice snare from the Brit infantry. 2 more Panthers coming in support. They want this ISU. They want it bad.
A lot of hits to do so. Red smoke going down. What's this red smoke coming in?
That's the IL-2 Sturmovik. It takes down a Panther. Another one goes down half health. ISU does go down. But at the cost of 2 Panthers, is it worth it? Actually, 3 Panthers, I think.
Yeah, and the 4th one is in risk here. It's taken a hell of a lot of fire from the British infantry as they come roaring in.
But here comes Grenadiers to support. This Panther needs to blitz if it can. Oh, it's not vetted yet. It can't blitz.
Here comes the assault. There's the speed boost for all the British infantry coming in. They get that actually upgrade, and look at them shred. Grens go down.
Grens are trying their heart out. Here comes a Werfer to try to support. That's going to force a retreat, much needed for Bagnall to give him some breathing room. Oh, there's a Pack 43 on the north. I didn't even notice that till now. Flak half-track still alive. It's Vet 5 with 30 kills. And it just took some AT shots. Got a lucky miss. Werfer coming in on the AT gun, and that misses.
Brits have got oh my goodness, a Comet in the build. I think that's a really good reply to a lot of these Panther heavy build coming out.
The Centaur just got removed off the face of the earth. Panther shot and a Pack 43 shot. Here comes an Su-85. He's got to be careful by getting too close. Bagnall is not out of this.
Yeah, Allies currently, they've got a Pershing, a Jackson, an Su-85, and a Comet in the build. Oh, 2 Su-85s and a Comet in the build versus 2 Panthers, 3 in the build, 4, 5 Panthers. Still a pretty even matchup.
And you got to count that Pack 43 in the north. That's going to make it very hard for Gondor to get aggressive with that VP. This top VP is where we're seeing all of the action.
I don't know about that. Look at the Jackson and the Pershings right now in the back line.
But they hit a mine.
Yeah, there's a mine goes down.
Oh, here comes a
Jackson
Panther to respond.
decrews to get quick repairs in. Panthers moving around to respond.
2 more Panthers rotating from middle to respond to the threat.
They were on a way to make their flank of their own. Now they're pushing up.
This is dangerous for the U.S. player. 3 Panthers and some wounded tanks here. The Pershing's going low.
They're gonna go. Here they come.
Heavy Cav trying to drop some smoke cover, but this Pershing is so in danger. Here comes some red smoke. Pershing goes down. Panthers on the hunt, but there's Rangers with bazookas on their flank. Jackson goes down. IL-2 strike.
Mark Tiger, one of the Panthers is blitzkrieging away. Main gun destroyed on it. The other 2 there still need to get out.
That's a huge pickup for Bagnall. 2 tanks for the cost of none.
Brits moving, using the assault to get into the center. There's nothing defending the center right now, and a Comet is just free to have a go, but they cannot push onto this other VP. It's now... Wow, VPs are currently still in favor of Gondor right now because of the decap in the center, and Bagnall are less than 100 VPs right now to 300 on Gondor.
Yeah, Bagnall is winning a lot of fights, but they don't have the infantry. Look at 2 AT guns holding off the Panthers from the south. And now they've capped that middle VP. I feel like Bagnall is actually... They're so light on infantry, and Gondor's heavy on infantry, and it's giving them the advantage. Look at these Brit Terminators coming in to hold the middle.
Oh, that was a big hit. Was that a mine?
That was a mine, yeah. These vetted Obers trying to take on these vetted Brits. Where's the Werfers?
I think they're all reloading. Conscripts are retaking the other VP as well. This is going to be a trip cap for Gondor. They can't let this happen. The Comet was deep in the backline there. It goes... Yeah.
Was it hunting for Werfers? It must have been. Panthers are in repair.
I think a Werfer must have gone down because 2 Tommies went down there. 2 of the veteran Tommies. And the other one escapes within the skin of its life. Brit player has lost most of his infantry.
LEFH hitting the repairing Su-85 just deleted some engineers. 2 engineer squads deleted to Artie. Can Bagnall capitalize though on these Gondor losses? ISU-152 reemerges. The Panthers going on the flank.
Conscripts have Urad the Pack 43.
Nice pickup by Gondor. 3 Panthers now here to challenge the ISU. But Bagnall needs infantry on the points. The infantry's coming in for some snares. There's a Panther on the flank of the ISU now.
Yeah, they need to be focusing the points right now. Yes, those tanks are a problem, but right now, you need infantry on those points. Because you are heavily hemorrhaging right now. You need to tourniquet that wound. down to 47 VPs. But the ISU 152 is in trouble.
Big trouble. Smoke just come down. I think we have an IL-2 strike coming. It might hit. One Su-85 goes down.
Here comes the Sturmovix.
ISU 152 goes down. Bagno on the middle VP cap. What about the top though? There's an MG and a pack holding it. They're gonna need smoke or something. The Panthers gonna have to get behind them. Big push by Bagno. Can they turn this around? 26 points and ticking down. Team 34 from Gondor coming in with the Ram.
25 points remaining. They've got they need to get on the cap. They need to get on the cap.
They are on the cap, but they're getting suppressed by an MG. Panther gets picked up by an IL-2 bomb strike.
Fresh Pershings is out as well on the rear of these Panthers.
Panthers really dive. Look at all this infantry on the VP and an IL-2 bomb strike.
Oh my God. Absolutely deleted the hopes and dream of this match.
Why?
That was did him dirty right there.
No.
This Panther is clearing out the other. They capped it. They still capped it. They've stopped the bleed at 19
but at
VPs.
What
They're not out of this yet.
At what cost? Oh
well,
no.
The Panthers are still going, and this Panther is going toe-to-toe with the Pershings.
Pershing wins.
Unfortunately,
Look,
Pershing is going to win.
Oh no. I can't believe what I just saw.
They pick up the Su-85, but
still
two of them are
three
engine
Panthers.
damaged. They're still fighting. The battle is still raining. There's a massive push on the center as well as another Panther comes to try and deal with these
guards. And a
guards.
Brumbar, that could help.
Brumbar could help, but they just need infantry on the points. All that they need is the decap, and the points start dropping again.
Yeah, they're dropping, and now the British have cover of smoke, and they're capping VPs. These Panthers need to go run them over. They can't
run
stand.
them down. Look at these two other Panthers in the center just left to the die.
The Brits do capture the top, but the Axis have decapped the bottom. But Bagno's still... There's no way they can hold this.
No, they can't.
The Brumbar
Two
desperately...
just went down
Look at
to
this.
conscript right now.
The MG's reinforcing from this M5 half track by Gondor. Yeah. Here comes a Tiger though. Yeah. Maybe too little too late. Somehow Bagno did cap the bottom VP. Technically not, they're not bleeding points. Now the Tiger's here. Now they're capping middle.
Oh, it's just a back and forth. They need someone on the bottom though.
They're
There's so many
bleeding now.
conscripts that they've got to lose another Panther.
They're gonna
Two
keep
Panthers
bleeding.
have gone down on that bottom. Maybe a third here.
The Brumbar's gotta go, and the Tigers are going up north, but there's not a lot of time.
Turn the pack! Turn the pack!
This Panther's gotta run down the conscripts. They need infantry up here, and quick. 7. They're bleeding. 5. There's not gonna be enough time. If only
everything is being turned onto this VP.
If only they had a Stuka bomb strike, they could decap it.
Yeah. But, Brits using, I believe, the mortar to cover that. Yeah,
what
no, that's
a game.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow. We just had another Allied win.
Another Allied win. But Bagno was not out of that. That was... Oh, it's just, it comes down to these VPs, which it always does on steps.
I'm lost for words, honestly.
It comes down to these top VPs. That's where all the fight, that's like the critical moments. Dude.
I definitely need a break after that one, but what a game. Honestly, both teams neck and neck the entire way, and it just came down to those VPs. Gondor got the trip caps when they needed to at the right times and held on to them for long enough. Going their armor presence though was massive, and Bagno did so well to counter that. There was a time when they were down. I think they had 4 Panthers versus ISU 152, about 4 Su-85s, a Cromwell, a T-34, and a Pershings, and somehow they beat them down and pushed them all the way out. It's just, it came down to those VPs. It was too late at that point almost. But amazing, amazing game. Also, the overview just shows how close this game was again. The graphs, the stats. Again, these players are neck and neck. Rallinate almost racking up 300 kills. Everyone else floating at least 100 kills. Other than Mini-Me, who was the USF player over on the island there, he did a lot of damage but didn't get a lot of kills. But look at his losses comparatively. Yeah. Honestly, that could have gone either way. It was just well-timed from Gondor.
Relinator's conscripts got 88 kills. That was.
I want to see how those Tommies did in the end before they got annihilated.
Those VPs, the VP score didn't really do justice to the closeness of that game, but I feel like 90 kills on Howard's Panzerwerfers by themselves. It's just it's unfortunate. I think if Bagno prioritized that top VP more often, the game that they could have turned the game around. And they were utilizing those Panthers really well. It took them a while, I think, to catch on, but finally they were rotating them together in groups to great effect, such as wiping out the Pershings and the Jacksons as they were caught out, and they realized they could quickly outnumber them.
Yeah, they needed that rotation much sooner. I think there was about a 5-minute period where they just weren't moving their Panthers, and I think that could have been what would change the game. But still, an amazing game from these two teams, and another amazing showing. So it's 2-1 to Gondor right now in this best of 5. This game, this could go to 4 games, this could go to 5. We don't know yet. But it means there is definitely a game still to come.
Well, it's definitely going to 4 games because each team has won once. So you have to win a total of 3. So let's take a break, guys. That was exciting. I hope you're having fun. For those of you just turning in, there's $500 in cash and prizes on the line. First place is going to be getting 400 cash, 4 copies of Total War 3 Kingdoms, 100 KO2 supply coins. Second place will be getting $100 cash and 50,000 KO2 supply coins for each player. And I saw some questions popping in about what does it mean to be a king of the noobs? Well, every player had to have less than 2,000 hours in Company of Heroes 2 to get in the game, and ranks of 500 or worse in 1v1s and 2v2s, or be unranked in those game modes. All right, guys, go get some refreshments, get some fluids in you, because we've got at least 2 more games to go. Right? Oh, no, potentially, 2 more games. At least. Because now...
No.
Actually,
if Gondor win this next one, they could win the series.
Oh, that's right. If Gondor win... Yeah, Gondor's up 2 to Bagno's 1, and it is best of 5, so if they win 3. Bagno on the line.
Yeah.
This will be tense. We'll be back after this. Noobs and Noobettes, welcome back to the grand finals of the King of the Noobs. An exciting 3 games so far, back and forth, which surprisingly, Mitch, every game has been won, as you pointed out, by the Allies. And now, the sides are switching. Gondor is up 2 games in this best of 5. If they win this one, they win the grand finals. But Bagno is on the Allied side. So technically, they seem to have the advantage, as the Allies have won every time, and... Wasn't it Bagno's early game? They were game 2 allies, right? And they had the early game. No, that was Gondor. Gondor had the early game ally domination. How are you feeling about this? Oh, hang on, Midge. I've got you muted again. Sorry. It wouldn't be a live stream unless there were mistakes, okay?
Yeah.
Please forgive me. Go ahead,
It's okay. So, what I was saying is, Bagno are far from out of it yet. They've got the ally side now on them, which is the winning pick, it seems, right now. And I was trying to think, why is that? Why are we seeing allied wins pretty much across the board on this grand final? And I think that's because these 2 teams, to get here, have had to have both a strong Axis and Allies game. And there's a quite possibility that both these teams are actually Allied favorites, and they both play Allies really, really well. And maybe the Axis is their weaker side. But because, as we've said, this tournament is a bit Axis heavy, that it was made up for by the fact of the faction pick. So now where it's coming down to the wire and they're both strong on the allies, we're seeing it all to play for, and the allies being the thing that's the pivotal moment. So, as you say, Bagno on the allies now. It's all to play for. If they lose this, they're out of the competition. But there's still a chance this could go to a 5th game.
But if Bagno does lose, they do secure 2nd place and the prize is there. Which, since this might be our final game, let's go ahead and recap what's at stake. First place that Gondor can win with a victory of this next match is 400 cash in total, 4 copies of Total War 3 Kingdoms, 100,000 KO2 supply coins for each player, which should allot them any commanders or intel bulletins that their dreams would desire. The runner-up will get $100 cash and 50,000 KO2 supply coins. All players in the tournament had to have less than 2,000 hours played in Company of Heroes 2 and could not have ranks of 500 or better in 1v1s and 2v2s. So, entering a game 4, Gondor is up 2 games to Bagno's 1 in this best of 5. Guys, please show some love to Midge, who's been casting with me this whole tournament. Head over to his Twitch. Sergio has just linked it in the chat. Twitch.tv/MidgeMan. Give him a follow as a thank you for contributing his voice, his energy, and his esports shoutcasting debut with us, the KO2 community. Midge, thank you so much for being here. And everybody in chat, thank you for being here and showing your support to this channel. It's been a lot of work going to the tournament, but it has been so worth it. I'm having a lot of fun. Midge, I hope you're having fun as well.
Definitely.
Let's get into game 4. So, Bagno.
Yeah.
On the... I just switched this. We're back. Okay, no, going into the game for real. Get this. Bagno on the Allies side, on the chopping block. Can they stick with the theme and pull out another win in this best of 5? So we have a Brit, 2 USF, and a Soviet for Bagno. No early commander lock-ins. They might elect to hold out for a little bit. Infantry company going up for the Soviet player. What is Gondor up to?
We've got our standard OKW and Wehrmacht double split, and Rananato's locked in his Fierstorm Doctrine, his fan favorite. Yeah, I don't think he's not played that all tournament.
Yeah.
But chat, I want to see you scream Bagno or Gondor. Show your support for these teams in what could be the final game. Bagno are on their lifeline, and they are pushing out as the allies. I'm interested to see where everyone's going to be picking, where they're going to try and put their show of force. And let's do this. Let's see this. What could be a final game on steps, or what could be the setup, the prelude to one of the biggest, longest finals. Well, actually, it is the biggest final we've ever seen in King of the Noobs Tournament history, because it's the first one. But hey, it's let's see them make tournament history right here, right now. Bagno and Gondor calls for aid.
We got a lot of votes coming in for Bagno. People want to see a game 5. Have to admit, that would be epic. I feel nervous for both teams. This opening placement seems so critical on a big map like Steppes, because you can't easily rotate. When you commit your troops to a certain part of the map, you've committed them. And you're more likely to retreat back to base than be helpful anywhere else at that point. We do have 2 players coming to the South Island versus just a single player from Bagno. I think this is going to be a decisive take for Gondor. But
yeah,
that means Bagno's focusing more up top on these VPs.
But the single player on the island being the Tommies as well means they could be easily overwhelmed here. Tommies have a very weak opening engagement compared to the Germans. And I think that's about to show. The thing is, such a decisive victory on the island could mean one of these players could rotate very quickly to the center and then push more people towards those VPs. However, on the other side, on the steps, we've got Pioneers retreating to USF Infantry, and the USF Infantry retreating in turn. It's a German win, I think, mainly on this. I think these Pioneers are going to take down these rear echelons, and the munition side's also going to go to Gondor.
That's a bit of a frustrating loss for Bagno. 2 riflemen losing to 2 riflemen and a rear echelon being forced off by 2 Stern Pioneers. And it looks like Gondor also locking down this middle fuel.
Yeah, that's dangerous for Bagno. I wonder how they can push back. Like I said, one player rotating off of the island, coming in with his grenadiers to support this middle. Danger low there for Mr. Jones's infantry, who is actually locked in airborne company. And we've also seen a lock-in of Luftwaffe ground forces for Eltrix. I believe there are only commander lock-ins so far.
I think airborne is a great pick for this map, not only because of the flexibility and being able to drop the troops and support weapons, but the P-47s have proven absolutely deadly all tournament long. And especially on a big map like this where the enemy anti-air can't be everywhere at once, so you can catch off some lone panthers, some wounded tanks, and clean them up with relative ease. But Bagnell, I'm feeling nervous for Bagnell right now. They're about to be triple capped. They have a machine gun trying desperately to keep off this cap, but they're about to be triple capped, and they have no fuel.
Oh, mortar hitting on that squad, trying to cap the center though. They're going to go very low.
Lucky that
they are going to get out with the cap. Yeah. Here comes the USF in reinforcements back. Got to possibly wipe a Sternpio here.
Absolutely.
That'll be a good pickup.
Yep.
Yeah.
I like that they're working together. They're being patient. They don't want to send in squads piecemeal. And that's what they need. They need a decisive counterattack to get back in VP control of this game.
I definitely worry about those VPs though right now.
Yeah, doesn't it seem like the teams that get that early VP advantage seem to be the ones that win the game due to the VP lead in the late?
For sure, and I really hope Bagnell can be proving us wrong with that. They are starting the recaps, which is good. They're not going to be under as much pressure anymore. Let's just hope they can hold on to it. A worrying thing, though, is the Axis have had double fuel and they have a VP advantage right now. It's looking in Gondor's favor, but I have been wrong many times this tournament, and I hope I'm wrong again.
Well, you know what's interesting? In Game 1, the Axis, as Gondor, they had the early fuel advantage, but it ended up being Bagnell that came back. And if you remember, Gondor had a lot of early Panzer IVs, but Bagnell was able to take them out and come into the game.
We've got an Opel Blitz full of MP-40 Volksgrenadiers now heading down to the top side of the steps. Where is he going to drop his deployment? He's going to find some riflemen. Surprise!
Oh, we had an Axis squad go down.
Rifleman going down, I think, to this... Yep, one squad goes down.
Oh, wow. Gondor keeping the heat up. There's a the classic Rallinator with his Opel Blitz up north with Volks with MP40s.
That's what I was saying. They just popped out on two riflemen section to their captain there and completely squad wiped one without taking a model loss.
Wow. What is Bagnell going to do to respond? Gondor's closing in from the south, just absolutely pressuring all sides of the flank.
Big grenade on that engineer there.
Clown car getting in range of the Faust, maybe double. This could be an instant loss.
Doesn't get Fausted,
they didn't
though.
connect it. Yeah.
Yeah, negated it with the trees there. Opel Blitz retaking. The north side.
Big retreat from Gondor. 3 grenadiers. Do have a clown car. I think that's a good choice from Soviet player. And Bagnell's on the move for the middle fuel, but man, they currently have no map control. They have elected to get an early fuel cache up. Seems like a questionable choice.
Heavy Cav locked in for Thur. So 2 USF lock-ins, and we've also had Jaeger Armor Doctrine locked in for Minimi.
We also have a howitzer out for the US player trying to go to work on these bunkers. Gondor loves putting bunkers out early. They've got 2 now in the middle fuel. But somehow this US player just out of vision, capping it. But here comes the reinforcements. And as you just saw, Bagnell down to 400. This captain at risk of going down. A huge rifle grenade, and it does. In force, Bagnell arrives precisely where Bagnell was trying to counterattack. We do have some flanking American players on the Raketten. Bagno's, oh my gosh, and Relinator's going with his aggressive truck. We've seen him do this before on steps. Axis does lose a Raketten, giving the Clown Car some room to move up on the flank here. Stern Pioneers recruit.
40s, I don't know where they're coming. I think they're being moved to the center. They're going to be up behind this pack howitzer here.
We've seen Relinator do this.
They're going to meet a flak half-track at the same time.
That could be a good counter if he can suppress these troops.
Still going to lose the pack howitzer. But the drive-by is less effective by that flak truck being there.
The Opal's going to get away, which is kind of shocking. I think these Volks are as well. So much Axis infantry that Gondor is just dominating the map. Where is Bagno's infantry?
They've put a lot of pressure in support weapons, which really hasn't done well for them, actually. Got a fair few AT guns and pack howitzers when they actually just... I think they just need more men on the field. Look at this flank in the center right now. Absolutely devastating, that Maxim.
Look at this.
Getting body blocked by those engineers as well. They can't escape.
And look at this early Schwer by Gondor up north, completely cutting off the Muni and top VP from being capped. And it's upgraded.
Yeah, that Schwer almost destroyed the flak half-track as well.
But there's nothing on the bottom. There's one bunker on bottom fuel and nothing on the bottom VP. One clown car could go capture this.
Placements. Look at these MG placements from Mini-Me. He's up in the Axis side, the Allied side of the map with 2 MG42s.
You got to think fatigue becoming a factor here. After a tough loss like that, Bagno seems to be crumbling a little bit under the pressure. Trying to rally with a blob of infantry coming to the middle VP. But Gondor has capped the points all the way up to the base. Bagno only in control of a small pocket in the middle of the map here.
There's a lot of pack howitzers out for the USF, which could really punish this very forward Schwer if they can start getting hits on it. But they've got to burst out this pocket, and here comes a Panzer IV. That spells trouble.
Yeah, that's really not good for Bagno. I don't think they have anything to counter this.
There is AT on the field, just not nearby.
It's such a strange feeling. It seems like Bagno has just had really no infantry, and Gondor has just had a plethora.
Here comes the Opel Blitzwagon.
Undercover ops going behind the AT gun.
The man at the back said everyone attack, so they sent in an Opel Blitz. The Blitz truck does go down, but not before wiping an AT gun.
Oh, but those 2 Volks go down.
Wipes, though.
And the falls are going to go down.
Turnaround.
Yeah, this would be an incredible turnaround. I mean, Bagno they've got to start hammering this. There's nothing on the north or south of this map right now. Everything is in the middle. If they could just hammer some mortars or smoke the Panzerschwer, they could cap everything.
Yep.
They could send 1 clown car to the bottom VP, cap that and all the points. But unfortunately, all the focus is in the middle, and the rest of the map is just being held for free by Gondor.
Rack is starting to put some pressure on the 2 flak half-tracks. Oh, one goes down, max range Rack.
That was an attack ground because that had no vision for sure.
Well, the vision is a little bit wonky on these hills and steps, so I can understand if that was actually still in vision.
Clown car is active near the bottom. Okay, they're starting to hammer the Panzerschwer up north. Clown car exploring down south.
2 P4s in the middle right now.
Yeah, the AT situation
Nothing to stop them.
Somehow Bagno does capture the middle VP. And they're capping the fuel.
There's a scout car with some engineers going to go cap the island. I think they found out that it's alone over there.
There's one MG, but they could easily flank it. Big AT hits on the Panzer IV. I want to believe in Bagnow's comeback. They're chipping away at the Panzerschwer. It's almost dead up north. They're finally exploring here and realizing there's nothing to stop him from taking it out. And that could be a big hit to Rallinator, who has experienced this exact pain before when he positioned it in previous Steps games. I don't like that the clown car is capping all the points up to the VP. They gotta prioritize these VPs now. This P4 is diving. They're at risk of going down.
Yeah, it was gonna try and save the
It does!
Schwer, but
What a shot! Max range.
that's this gun. That's this gun is a hero. It takes out a Schwer, just turns around, takes out a P4. Get that man, or those men, a medal from Stalin there.
Clown car really trying to be careful on this flank. It could easily take this VP. It's only a bunker on the fuel, and then an MG. But now the top is completely open except for one MG. Bagno is on the move. This would be quite a comeback if they can get in this game.
Losses there for the Brits there who have locked in artillery command, and we're seeing that come down. But he lost both an MG and a Tommy squad there before retreating any of his men.
The clown car going to work, pushes off the MG. Now they're almost free to cap this bottom VP. Gondor staying persistent on the middle, but Brit already is raining down. They need another light vehicle to come help them up top. They need to spread out these Gondor forces. They are going to get the decap on the bottom VP.
Brits
MG
have
and
a
Grins.
Cromwell in build.
Cromwell is exactly what they need.
New Schwer going down, this time in a reserved location. Rallinator's learned his lesson.
Gondor does
Look at
push
this
off.
through the middle.
Yeah. Panzer IV, though, coming to stop this aggression up north. It's unfortunate Bagnow's focus on the middle and the top has allowed Gondor to really focus all their attention there as well, and they're holding the rest of the map pretty cheaply. Although at least Bagno does have some fuel income now.
Another bunker going down in the center. Already being hammered by the Ordnance 6-pounder there. Destroying it.
Panzer IV doing work up north, stopping those caps, and there's still triple VPs for Gondor. Bagno's got to be feeling the heat. Here comes the Cromwell coming up the middle. The double howitzer is a questionable choice from Bagno. That might be why they just have so much less infantry.
Yeah, as I said it earlier, they did put a lot of reliance in support weapons, which just got flanked and outflanked, and it's really suffered in their front line, allowing the Germans to run away with it. These Rangers, however, are harassing the battle group headquarters. Cromwell is there now in support. They found a P4. The P4 is a little bit weak, but there is an Osprey and a Panther in the middle. Red artillery smoke coming down on top of this battle group headquarters. They want it destroyed. Cromwell needs to get out of there now, though. He's been found by the Panther.
Yeah, Bagno trying to get that top VP. There's just one MG42 locking it down. Bounces on the Panther. Oh, there is an incendiary drop on the top, and they do manage to decap top VP. And Bagno caps middle VP. Buying themselves some time. Big retreat from Gondor's infantry in the middle. Bagno showing a little bit. Yeah, and the new Schwer taking fire with nothing to stop it at the moment.
Yeah, and all of that belongs to Rallinator, though, so he must be really suffering in this build because of it, and it shows. He's down to 19
3 units.
cap.
Yeah. Oh, a Tiger's out though for Gondor.
Red smoke coming down though on that infantry. This Tiger could change things though.
This will be hard for Bagno to deal with. They don't have a lot of AT. But they do have enough. Actually, they have a lot of AT guns spread out across this north side of the map. With infantry on the flank, they could land a snare. They play their cards right. I think they want to take some MGs though.
Yeah, they need to pick up either the P4 or the Panther first, really, before trying to crack the nut of the Tiger. P-47s are available for the USF now.
Oh, yeah, that could be a real game changer too. The Schwer, half-health Tiger coming to work on the AT gun. Here comes AT around the flank of the Tiger. Conscript's oorahing, wanting to get the snare, but the Schwer is going to get him pinned. Uh-oh, here comes the Opal, another Opal.
Oh, it instantly gets engine destroyed. Here comes a P4 to try and support it. Carnage in this corner here.
Shock troops doing absolute work.
Good counter there to Rallinator's tactic. I feel like they've hard countered Rallinator this game. This is the first time he really has been. Now, I'd like to see it because he has been dominating on one side of the map all tournament.
Panthers
Look at this push
aggressive.
though with the Ostwind supported by Grenadiers.
Yeah, really stretching out the AT support of the Bagno very thin. Because we also have P4s and Tigers on the top. Infantry heading to cap that top VP for Gondor.
P4 is going what looks like a base inspection. It's going to find the rear armor of the Cromwell. But it turns to fight a mortar pit instead.
Oh, this Cromwell is in danger. What is he doing? Showing his... Now more than ever, those P-47s are needed, but there's no munitions. Not yet. He's close.
T-34's out, and the Tiger is at about half health.
Oh, big fragmentation on the AT gun. Cromwell gets snared.
Also at half health.
Gondor gets the decap on the North VP.
Blitzkrieging away. T-34 coming in. A lot of the German armor is really weak right now.
Yeah, but Gondor is staying aggressive on the VPs.
Yeah.
Oh, we just saw some red smoke come in. Looks like that is airborne assault. Gondor's gonna get the cap on the VPs. The bleed will continue. Uh-oh, here comes a Stuka. That's not what Bagno wants to hear. Hit. Oh, in the middle. Okay. They avoided the damage there.
Schwer is going to get away with its life just about. Allied repairing his Schwer HQ. Rallinator still under 20 pop cap right now.
The
trying to make
howitzers.
do with its Opal Blitzwaggons, just throwing them at the enemy.
The howitzers need to shift their target to that Schwer and take it out.
Yeah.
Bunker's going up north, 50 points. Bagno's in a desperate situation. They got to shift all focus here to the top VP. Here comes another Opal Blitz.
I mean, that's all Rallinator's got, and it's going to get punished again. He must learn that this tactic is not going to work out for him right now.
I mean, it did just take out a bear troop.
Yeah, but he's down to 12 in pop cap.
I mean, at this point, all Gondor has to do is delay Bagno. They're at 36 VPs. Look, they're throwing smokes, preventing the cap. I think they're playing smart given the context of the game. But yeah, Rallinator is down to 3 units.
T-34 finds the Schwer.
They need to focus on the bunker and this MG up there if they want to get in this game.
Press on. The enemy has 25 points remaining.
Yeah, and they know it.
Here comes the attack. This is Bagno's final go for. Oh my gosh, the Tiger gets lit up.
Rangers leading the way.
The AT gun's focusing on the bunker out of necessity. Here comes the Rangers onto the Schwer. The Tiger's gonna get away.
But look, infantry are moving on the VP. They've smoked it off.
Oh my gosh.
They might cap this within an inch of their lives. There is a Jackson out for the USF. It's pushing up to try and hit this Schwer.
Jackson, a great choice. That is what, and a Firefly comes out for Bagno. They're down to 11 points, but they're still fighting.
Bunker goes down.
They get the decap on top. The bleed has stopped.
The bleed has stopped. Bagno are in this game with the skin of their teeth at an inch of their life. Fallschirmjäger's trying to get a flank there in the center. They're holding on.
Uh-oh, Stuka bomb coming in.
Stuka bomb. Decapping the center, maybe?
Oh, yeah, it hits the AT gun and some infantry.
It didn't decap the center, but it just annihilated some infantry. Whilst some Volks move in for the decap. There's not much to counter it right now. There's some riflemen there and a captain. But the strafing runs, the airborne assault really wreaking havoc. Another Schwer HQ goes down.
Panther behind the Jackson.
It needs to get out. It needs to get out. They need that Jackson for if the Tiger shows up again.
A ram going for the Panther. It misses. It runs out of engine. Oh no.
Oh no. P4 is looking to dive the Jackson as well. T-34 goes down. Another Opal Blitz coming in. It's just heading straight for the VP with this Opal Blitz.
Here comes the Firefly. Hunting for that wounded Panther. Those two Volks.
Down. Those Volks don't make it to the VP.
No, they're going right into him. Oh, they do throw a smoke. This Panzer IV is getting lit up. Bagno's not out of this fight yet. They're getting scrappy.
Major dropping artillery on the center to counter that there. Panzer IV does go down at the top. Volks are somehow not pinned anymore. They're using what remains of their smoke. They're trying to push up on those Maxims.
Oh, incendiary coming in though. That's going to force them off. But now Gondor's capping middle, and there's nothing for Bagno to stop it.
Rallinator has no army.
Rallinator's full wipe. Oh my gosh, can Bagno get on this VP? They can't let this happen. Here come the Rangers. Will they make it? They just make it in time.
Oh my goodness, please.
Oh, but they're stunned. Oh, double stun. Here comes the paratroops.
No, that's not stopping the cap.
Oh my gosh, can the paratroopers and Rangers fight off the Sturms? Vetted.
I think they can.
Wow, the scrappy fights. A Maxim sets up with 2 models to help.
Get those Rangers out there, they deserve a break.
Here comes another Jackson. Bagno's starting to snowball some AT now.
Yeah, the thing is, Gondor have just put so much into it and they've lost a lot of troops. They've got multiple players under 50 with a maximum of 79 in their pop cap.
It's essentially 3v4 right now with Rallinator out of the game. He's got 1 Volk squad. That's it. Bagno used this to their advantage.
Counterattack in the center.
Paratroopers coming in hot, trying to hold this VP at all costs. Oh, the Firefly connects with its tulips on the Panther.
Pushing it off. Oswin come in to try and stop some of this infantry pushing up. Another Jackson in the center.
We do have P-47s available from Mr. Jones. I think he's waiting for a perfect opportunity to use that.
I think they're waiting for that Tiger to rear its head again. If it does.
It is fully repaired. It's headed back to the front. A Beaufort's going down in the middle VP. That's going to help him a lot.
That's a great play there.
I'd honestly like to see that more up north, though, given how weak it is. Look at these 3. Oh, gosh. 2 models clinging. It's just forced to retreat. Bagno's going to have to
get them an ambulance. Get them an ambulance.
There's some reinforcements on the way.
But so's a Tiger. Those reinforcements are about to meet a Tiger.
And the tank destroyers are on their way. Sherman, Firefly, and Jackson mobilized. Good mine placement on the road here. AT guns on the way. 2 Volks here. Here's Rallinator's force. Here's Rallinator's entire army moving up north. All 2 squads. Oh, P-47s do go down. Oh, nope, that's recon. That's recon. Oh wait, now P-47s go down. For the Tiger! A sliver!
Dive it, somebody dive it!
And a Stuka! Oh, an elephant is out now for Gondor. Stuka hits the Beauforts, but no damage.
Tiger's gonna get away. The Jackson's gonna be forced back. He can't go for the dive. Here comes the Axis armor reply. Here they come, but the Rangers are there.
And the Panther just getting range of the P-47s. The Jackson survives the Panther hit, and the Panther's taking tons of fire. Rangers going down to God knows what, just explosions. Now Panther goes.
I think that is.
Oh.
Panther does go down. The elephant has reared its head as well, so they know that's in the center. But here comes a counterattack. There are German stern pioneers with a Browning machine gun attacking airborne troops.
Okay, Bagno getting smart. They're probing bottom. Jackson finds a Panther, but now they've discovered all there is down south is a Panther in a bunker.
There's a Bofors on the top as well. They've done it. They've locked it down with another Bofors.
But there's an elephant and a P4 heading that direction. They're going to need AT to help. Ooh, Katyusha going down up north.
Elephant is staying in the center right now with an Ostwind in support.
Well, there's
Ostwind
an
is
AT
taking
gun.
a big
Yeah. Firefly coming up.
Oh! Ostwind is giving vision for the elephant to see
But
the
it goes
Bofors
down
right
now.
now. But it can ground attack now. It knows.
There's no infantry support for the elephant. And there's lots of AT there, and it's moving up.
P-47s is 12 seconds away, but they don't have the muni for it. Smoke is they've smoked off top. They're decapping top.
Oh, Bofors needs to attack ground, and he does. He shifts his target. MG just doesn't make it in time. The bottom has been decapped by Bagno somehow. And they dropped Major Artie on the reinforcement bunker.
Sherman Firefly pushing the Panzer IV off. Maxim getting the recap, but here comes Rallinator's entire army to try and cap this top.
2 models of Maxims versus the Volks. What is this
And a
game?
Bofors there.
The elephant's been pushed off by the AT, but now the AT's too far forward. Oh, a Stuka, the corpse of a Stuka here. I don't know how that died, but... Gosh, Bagno holding on by the skin of their teeth onto this top VP. Here come reinforcements. Maxim goes down. I love that Bagno's probing the bottom. There's 2 Jacksons ready to attack, and now the Panther's gone. All there is a machine gun on the bottom VP. Big smoke coming in. Tiger is back up in the middle. Exchanging grenades in the smoke. The Jacksons are on the move in the south. Jackson's flanking the elephants.
There's a King Tiger out as well. We've got a King Tiger, a Tiger, and an elephant moving for that center. That Jackson and the Firefly need to get out of there.
That Jackson.
A little bit.
What can he possibly accomplish?
Bad move. He's going for the elephant, but he's just
He needs to get the
King
Werfer.
Tiger.
Get the Werfer. The Jacksons. Jacksons can't kill the MG down south, but at least they know that's all there is. Man, these
This
P-47s
is a massive amount of armor in the center. P-47s are over 150 munition points away, so they are ways off yet.
Oh, the Jacksons are coming from the south, but this first shot misses.
Tiger's injured though, so is the elephant. Range is getting decimated by the King Tiger though.
These Jacksons are in danger from the south. They are. Bagno might get a sneaky cap down here. This Jackson missing. The Jacksons are missing all over the place. Jackson's
going very low in the center.
Jackson just bounced up close and personal on the KT. Took a shot from an elephant. So much. Heavy tanks. Pack gun goes down. Here comes Bagno on the bottom. Can they get some smoke out?
The problem is Mr. Jones's Jacksons are really injured. So is theirs. It's just the Sherman Firefly is injured.
Oh, the false
just getting annihilated by that grenade.
Please, sir, don't send us in there. Please.
That was the equivalent of them falling out the sky onto a landmine.
Midge, the Major, paratroopers coming down on south, and the Major's capping the VP. Bagno's gonna have him triple capped.
Paratroopers are supposed to be surrounded. Oh, here they go.
It's desperate MG placement trying to stall it.
Panzergren's moving in the center.
Who would have
Bombs
thought?
going down, destroying all the AT.
Oh,
Tiger
no.
is there as well. It's a trip cap right now for Bagno. They've got a lot to tick down, but they are not out of this fight.
This forward assembly from the Brits helping with... oh! Was that a caddy going down? What's this? Oh, yep, on the VP. Oh, Panthers have arrived for Gondor in the south.
Mr. Jones's infantry is really low health, pushing the KT. A captain just gets annihilated by it.
Mr. Jones has really done a wonderful job drawing attention down south.
Brumbar.
Now there's 2 players.
Excellent choice for Bodicus.
Yeah, absolutely. But he's about to meet tulips from a Firefly.
Bagno, though, is having to force all of its weak infantry still into the fight. Those Rangers managing to get a good shot off on the Brumbar before having to back away.
Firefly
But look at this.
takes out the Brumbar. The Elephant
We
King
are
Tiger, though,
45
responding.
We're 45 munitions away from another P-47.
It's
Can
needed.
they hold out long enough?
It is needed.
It's so needed. But here comes the push.
Look at the Axis heavies. You hate to see it. Unstoppable. Here come the Jacksons, fully repaired. Oh, Stuka bomb coming in. Where's that gonna hit?
It's gotta be landing in the center somewhere. Is it gonna decap? Is it gonna decap?
No, it takes out an AT. Decapping the top VP would actually be the smart play because it would immediately start to bleed. But they're Gondor sending everything on this middle VP. What can Bagno do? If they could drop paratroopers on the south VP, that would be a smart play.
10 more muni and
P-47s.
the P-47s can come back.
One more muni and the P-47s can come into play. And they need it. The KT is hurt, and all the heavies are rotating to the Jacksons.
The Jackson goes down in the center.
P-47s are down.
P-47's going down. Here it goes. Somebody get in there. Got charge your infantry. We need to get some snares.
The other Jacksons.
Everything down.
Jacksons are dying everywhere. Here come the P-47s.
Oh, there's a Panther in the back line. There's a Panther in the black back line
just
destroying
wrecking.
everything. There's a T-34 here, though.
Oh, Gondor gets the cap.
Oh, no. No.
Paratroopers. Mr. Jones could drop paratroopers on the south if he knows.
I don't think there's enough time, honestly.
They are going for the decap on middle. P-47 still chirping away. Stuka's coming on the middle VP.
The Opal Blitz is back. No. Just gets annihilated, but they've got the troops on the point that's stopping the decap. That's going to be the point.
Oh, the smoke keeping them alive. Oh no, that's so frustrating. Look at that smoke, is so clutch.
And smoke is replying. The Opal Blitz is replying, and that is gonna be the tournament. There we have it. Oh, grand final winners. Holy moly!
Cow.
Wow.
If only Mr. Jones had the mind to send paratroopers on the south. There's nothing left on the south. Nothing. What a fight.
What a fight. To the bitter end there for Bagno. They kept... How long were they on 10 VPs for? So long. That looked like it was going to be an amazing turnaround. But Gondor just proved the better team in the end. And well played to both teams in this final. Honestly, this has been some of the best play we've seen all tournament. They both really bought their game, their A game, and Gondor just proved to be that little bit better. But what a game. What a game.
Gotta give credit to Bagno. I mean, that game looked like it was supposed to be a short game. I cannot believe how hard Bagno fought to come back into that one and give themselves a chance to stay in the tournament. Incredible fight, incredible spirit and mental fortitude to be able to do that. Just take a look at some of these stats. I mean, that even though that game was only 35 minutes, it felt so long just because of the intensity of Bagno being on the chopping block for so long.
Yeah, and honestly, if you look at the damage, Bagno absolutely destroyed Gondor. And it comes just down to those VPs and that early game advantage that Gondor gave themselves. Like, look at the overview, the damage comparison. The lowest score on Bagno is 25k, with Gondor's lowest score being 19k. But Bagno have two players at almost 40,000 damage, or in the upper half of the 30k damages. Whereas, I think the top score, there's only one Gondor player with 32. So, honestly, the fight there was just insane.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What an amazing tournament. Congratulations to Gondor for being the first King of the Noobs winner. Walking away with the cash prize, $400. Total War 3 Kingdoms. 100,000 supply coins. You guys are going to be able to get whatever commanders, bulletins you could possibly want. Skins galore. Oh. I hope that was enjoyable. Guys, actually, we scheduled an interview with Gondor, the winning team. So we're going to take a break and get them into Discord, and we'll just chat about those games, some of the strategies that went into it. If you haven't already, guys, please follow Midgeman, twitch.tv/Midgeman, as a thank you for the effort in casting. He's invested in the tournament. And while you're at it, go ahead and follow this channel as well, if you haven't. We're going to take a break. We'll be back with an interview with the winners if they're available. If not, I'll come back to say goodbye. Oh no. All right, guys, welcome back. We do have Team Gondor Calls for Aid, the winners, the grand final champions of King of the Noobs here in Discord. I just have to add them as an audio source. So give me 1 second. And this is, of course, something that I have to do live because I wasn't prepared. I hope you guys had a great time watching this tournament. Man, what a blast. What an epic grand final series for us to end on. Okay, this should do it. This should be it. Gentlemen, go ahead. Midge is muted. Yes, he is.
Hello.
Go ahead and give us a... wait, no, nothing's coming through. Can you guys hear them? Go ahead, Gondorians. Give us a...
Testing.
Can you guys hear them talking?
The beacons are lit. Something.
Ryan calls for aid. Wait, what? That's the wrong one.
Okay, we're good.
We can hear you on stream,
Okay, yes.
but not in
No,
Discord.
they can hear you in stream. Oh, you can't hear me in Discord?
Oh,
We can now. We can now.
Very good. Okay, guys, we have the champions here with us, the Gondorians. Congratulations, guys, on winning the tournament. How does that feel?
Pretty good.
Yeah, awesome. It was a lot of fun.
A tough,
It's still pretty
Shocked.
unreal.
yeah, a tough. Were you guys expecting to go deep in the tournament from the beginning, or did you have no idea what kind of skills you'd be stepping up against?
We honestly
Not a clue.
thought, we thought we'd probably get knocked out the first round. It would be just a bit of fun. Here we are.
There you are. Yeah, you guys did have that bye round in the first one. I kind of wrote you guys off. I don't know why. Probably because I didn't get to see you in the first round.
That was quite funny.
Yeah.
You and Midgeman both wrote us off completely. We watched the stream and it was really funny. So you were both sort of stunned.
Let's talk about this last final matchup. So after game one, going against Bagno and seeing how tough they were, and Bagno ended up winning game one. What was your guys' mental demeanor after that tough game one loss and all those heavy tank fights? You guys lost a lot of. You guys were winning a lot of late game fights, but you ended up bleeding VPs. I mean, how did that affect you guys?
I guess I was
We were shit scared after the first game.
Yeah.
To be honest.
Yeah. We genuinely we went into that undefeated, and we kind of went overconfident, and we just got hammered in the first round. And we kind of were a bit like, oh god, what do we do here?
And we did a quick analysis of what happened, and it all came down to those pack howitzers that just kept picking us apart, and the British RT.
Couldn't get to them, and they just Once we could get to them, obviously on the steps matches, it became a lot easier.
After that game one, did you guys make a specific change? Because you looked totally different in game two. You came out very aggressive, and you were in full control of that game. So was there a conscious decision there?
We swapped our team ups as well. We sent me with Eltrix instead of me with Mini, just to get a bit of fresh perspective on it all, see what we could change.
I tend to use those Bren carriers really aggressively, and obviously Rally's infantry is really aggressive. So the suppression from the Bren and the flanking infantry is it's really hard for them.
We have some questions coming from chat. One of them wants to know, did you guys practice a lot together?
We started basically when we signed up for the tournament. We started playing, I think it was 2-3 games, 4 days a week.
Yeah.
Whenever we lost badly, we just started looking at all right, why did we lose this? Oh, there is no enemy on the right flank, where we didn't actually check ever.
We made a massive change on just before our first actual match. We played a game, we lost it completely. We watched the replay, we're like, what went wrong? and essentially we built walls where we thought the enemy was, and as a result of that, we didn't press it, and we referred to it as Ghost Division because there's nothing there. And ever since that, we sort of kept reinforcing that name in our head and just trying to probe the entire map.
Which is funny because I think our first actual game was against Ghost Division.
Right.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
But you called out on stream a lot. You said, "Oh, this side's like really lightly defended and stuff." That's why we were just constantly trying to never have sort of static 2 players here, 2 players here,
Right.
always attacking from the side.
Yep.
You guys openly used a lot of forward reinforcement bases throughout your tactics on both allies and axis. Why? What led you guys just to play that stuff? Was that just all your individual play style, or was that a team decision?
I mean, I've always been using them whenever I've been playing COH. I've liked having the forward operating area. Like, yeah, I don't have to run 2 miles back that way. I can just walk 50 meters back, reinforce it, and get back in there.
Yeah, it allows you to stay in the game and be on the front line and have something to hold the enemy back at times. So you're not completely leaving the field open for them to cap everything.
Yeah, we experimented with a lot of different commanders and different forward HQs, like the British ones, the gliders, all sorts of things. I think those Opel Blitz trucks and the Russian forward retreat airborne points were particularly useful, so we kind of stuck with those for it.
Are you guys? Did you guys meet each other online? Or are you friends in real life? How did you guys get together as a team?
I think me and Bold met while playing Stellaris in a mega game we started in like September or something.
Yeah. Similar with Mini.
I think I played U4 with Mini for a couple of years.
Okay, so you guys all
Yeah.
met online.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
So, Rallinator, let's talk about your Opel Blitz trucks. It's
I knew it would come down to this.
I mean, I think this, especially because it's in the last game, it was so intentionally being used to just an ungodly degree of aggression that it was probably never meant to be used by. But it was so effective because you guys had Bagno on the ropes, and I think you knew all I have to do is just keep harassing them with everything I have, so they can't cap VPs. Is that something you do a lot? Like, is that what you were thinking in these games?
Usually, I wouldn't be throwing them away to the same degree I was doing that game, but we were tired. It was game 4. We had at least double their amount of fuel income, so I decided, fuck it. It's 200 manpower per Opel. Let's do this.
I just,
And I just kept using. Yeah, go on.
I had to sort of start telling the team, guys, calm down on your losses. We've got a massive lead. Just don't lose unit. Because I'm just watching Rally commit suicide consistently.
I was the opposite. I just kept telling people to be more aggressive, to get in there, and we're sending Falchion League into their death. I was just so tired from that last game. I just didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, there was a lot of suicide tactics that time. It felt very Führerbunker towards the end of the war there. Like, we want to win this. We're so close. Just
That's pretty much it. We were shocked at how well the early game went, and we were just trying to keep up the aggression and not let them get those tank destroyers out to beat us.
yeah. Well, I would have never thought the winning team, one of the players would have 2 units left at the end of the game, but here we are.
I was effectively wiped at one point there, so.
yeah, we saw. Yeah, you had 0 pop cap at one point.
Yeah.
I think that's the lowest anyone's gone all tournament.
I have decided I'm just gonna get a King Tiger now. I'm just gonna chill. And then they're like, yeah, we need someone to decap that. All right, into the Opel, lads.
One thing that was interesting is in the first 3 games, the Allied side won all in a row. Do you think that was just coincidence, or do you guys feel like a stronger Allied team?
Yeah, we're Allied mains.
Oh, okay.
We only started practicing German for the tournament because we knew we'd have to play.
Wow.
Yeah, in January.
Wow.
We always picked faction pick if we would pick axes, because we know that most 4v4 players will pick axes, so we take their kind of stronger faction away.
Okay, cool. People want to know if they'll see more of Team Gondor in the future. Do you guys stream or do any other content, or is this like kind of the first exposure in the KO2 scene for you guys?
Yeah, this is our first exposure.
Yeah.
We're making at the moment. Thought we'd do it for fun, and somehow ended up winning.
Are you guys active on any
Complete shock.
social media?
No.
Well, you're gonna have some fans now. You're gonna capitalize on your tournament winning, start a YouTube channel or something. Sergio says you'll have my support.
Well, he's been supporting us from the start. Big shout out to him.
Sergio's full of passion.
So much energy that guy.
Yeah.
So I think a lot of people are asking this. I know I am. I'm a big Lord of the Rings fan. Where did the name come from? Whose idea was it to be Gondor Calls for Aid?
I think our main discussion was basically we needed to figure out a name, and we couldn't just figure one out. So the first one we were going for was something from like The Mandalorian, like "This is the way" or something like that.
Yeah.
And then I just threw in Gondor Calls for Aid for some random. I think we used it in one game 44 when we were playing. I said the beacons are lit.
Usually we have a group chat for the game as well, and we used to sort of say who's ready for games, and we'd sort of say like the beacons are lit or something like that. The name just sort of evolved from that.
So
we didn't want something too serious. We wanted sort of something a bit more funny and memey. I think chat made me really laugh quite heavily in the early games, making the jokes of like where Gondor doesn't need aid, Mordor jokes and stuff like that. Just quite funny.
That is funny. Let's talk about the prizes. Okay, you guys, you earned yourself $400 cash. I assume you're going to split it, or are you going to? Is Rallynator going to get less since you had so few units in that last game?
I think that's fair.
Yeah, let's not talk about me dismantling elephants on steps. No.
That's true. We kind of can't
True.
classic because his damage runs away with that one ability.
He
He sort of forced his commanders as well.
There's this thing we always call rally losses because he usually has massive damage and about 400 deaths.
Yeah.
Got a lot of insurance claims on Opel Blitz wagons he needs to pay off. So
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Well, I'm assuming you guys are going to split it, or have you decided something else? And second question being, what do you guys think you'll spend the money on? What are you going to do with the money?
I mean, the first thing we're gonna do is we actually have a fifth guy on our team, the reserve guy. He actually played in the first game on Ghost Division, so we're gonna buy him Total War 3 Kingdoms for the prize money, and then we're gonna split it 5 ways.
Yeah.
That's very sweet. Are you guys excited about the game? Is that something you've been looking to play?
I haven't actually looked that much at it, but it's a Total War game. It's gonna be a blast.
Yeah. Well, not really. Like, I mean, like we entered for the fun. Like, it wasn't really about the prize. But like that's a nice bonus because we all play Total War games. But yeah,
Cool.
Just really cool. Shock.
You also get 100,000 Kotu supply coins each, which kind of means you could probably buy whatever you would want in terms of commanders or bulletins. Is there anything that you guys had on your minds, or are there any commanders that you guys don't have that you would look to be getting?
Yeah, I'm looking to get the defensive commander for the OKW. I really like the Fallschirmjäger, but those Pack 43s can be really clutch on sort of narrow maps.
I think I've got them all. I may have threw money at this game over the amount of time I played it. So,
Sergio wants to know what your favorite commanders are.
Firestorm.
I've got to be honest with you here. Firestorm, yes, but mostly because Firestorm and Airborne have not been allowed to play anything else because they like me being so stupidly aggressive that I get rally losses. My favorite commander actually is the KV-1 and B4 commander. I'm just not allowed to play it.
That's funny.
But the thing is, his commander like influences his playstyle. We've seen him play fortifications, and he goes full. Whereas, like, his aggression on the other 2 commanders he's played for the tournament is just vastly superior. So we've been trying to take advantage of.
For me, it's commandos, 100%. I just love that.
Yeah, you picked that one a lot.
The assault recon is just crazy because it's just site-wide recon, so any artillery can be killed by a teammate or my own arty, and the charge is just like a big shock to them. Usually, you see those commandos run at you like, oh god, what do I do?
Yeah, you don't expect the British, who are mainly emplacement, sort of defensive playstyle. You don't expect 300 Tommies just charging over a hill with Brens at you.
Exactly.
So yeah, no, you use that to great effect, and it was just so much vision that assault gives you. And it's only what, 60 munitions, something like that.
It's 75, but yeah, because we usually focus on munition points anyway. It's something I can just spam basically off cooldown.
One thing
And then I'll normally try to destroy it with an IL tip. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
For howitzers and stuff.
One thing I wish I could hear during the tournament is like the comms going on between the teams. When you guys are playing, is it one person kind of in charge, or do you all feel like you have an equal say and are calling for pivoting or attention to certain areas of the map? Is that more of a team thing, or is there kind of a natural leader in your group?
I'd say it's a team thing, yeah. We just always call something out and ping it and always say what we're building and what we're going to do and where we're moving.
Do you ever... Go ahead.
I think one of the key things is basically, at one point, we just started calling out everything, because we always say basically, just imagine that you're the only one who saw that. Even if it appears to be stupid obvious, call it out.
Right. Did you guys ever feel like you struggled or with frustration during any moments of the tournament and you felt like you had to take a step back and regroup, or was it fairly... I mean, you didn't lose a game, so...
Daka?
Yeah,
Okay.
the Daka game, the second Daka game, when we played the Allies, that was really hard. At some point, I think it was, Balticus who called out, we need a win because we've been losing so hard.
We didn't know what to do.
All match, we just need to focus on, the VPs and hurt them back. Really,
It was just before we got that Tiger kill on the Daka game, and then because once we got that win, we felt like we could come back and we gradually clawed. But we was torn whether we should give up the island or still contest it, because we was worried about the resources. We didn't want to leave anything uncontested, but we was going to lose if we didn't.
Given Germans just uncontested fuel is just suicide on most 4v4. But we just decided to just charge through the middle and try and hurt what we could to get some sort of morale and put them on the back foot.
Bluey Wolf asks, me and a few others became fans of Gondor and want you guys to make a Steam group so we can snipe you easier or look at your matches in the future. You're gonna have some fans, gentlemen. It might be time.
We wouldn't know what to do, probably. But what I would like to say though, it's been obviously a pleasure playing with everybody who's been involved. Pleasure watching you, Midge, and Greyshot, who streamed first.
Yeah,
it's just been fantastic to be a part of it all from start to finish.
Glad to hear that. Yeah, that was the whole point. Definitely to have people like yourselves that wouldn't normally be playing in tournaments, just to have a great time doing it. And I'm glad that seems to be the outcome. Sergio wants to know what your favorite map is. Do you have a team favorite or individual favorites?
I think that's obvious from our picks, to be honest.
Steps.
Yep.
I mean, I wouldn't say I like Steps, but I feel it plays to our strengths. I like Whiteball. And
I also like Whiteball.
I like Greater Arnhem as well. But yeah, Steps is my favorite.
Anybody in chat have any final questions? That's about all I have for these guys. I think we should let them maybe go enjoy the rest of their Sunday. But if there's any final things trickling in, we can put them in front of them. Guys, thanks so much for sharing your time with us. And again, congrats on winning the tournament. That's pretty epic. You guys had an incredible showing. You only lost one game the entire tournament, and it was a tough one.
Yeah.
And then we panicked afterwards slightly. We're like, because we went into that because we were trying to watch a few of Magnus games, and we were like, oh, these guys don't look that tough. But like, you guys haven't said much about them, so we didn't know what to. We didn't think too much of them, to be honest, and then we was quite shocked.
Yeah, they have some fight in them. I was impressed even that last game that they were managing to claw back. It's with such low VPs.
Yeah. I mean, the third game was the big one because we were just using like captured Pat 43s and rifles to try and keep them off the points. We had no tanks. We were just hanging.
Right. Yeah. Was this overall a fun experience for you guys that you think you would like to do again? Was it too tense and maybe not something you'd do again?
I'd like to do it again. I'd definitely do it.
Yeah. It's been great fun.
It was great fun.
Just because of COH tournament.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Glad to hear it.
So hopefully you'll do another one.
Yeah, you'll be back to defend your title if you do another one.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
Hopefully win a second title.
I think you guys would earn the first seed for sure. I'm definitely considering it. I think we can see a King of the Noobs too. We'll probably put it in the hands of the viewers if they want to support it. We'll be taking a break though. This was a lot of work, but it was worth it, and I'm glad. I'm glad the finals were exciting. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in, Gondor. We'll let you guys go, and I'll be in touch with you about to redeem the prizes. via email. Hope you enjoy the rest of your Sunday.
Thanks, Skippy. Been a
Yeah,
pleasure.
thanks.
See you guys.
Bye all.
All right, Midge. You're not on camera, but you're still with me. That's gonna be it.
Still here.
I think that's a wrap on our coverage of King of the Noobs.
Yeah, and before Skippy closes anything off, I think everybody in chat, I think we need to talk about the unsung hero of this entire thing. Everybody, give a massive round of applause. Am I muted again, apparently? Oh my
You
God.
did. No, you're not.
What?
They're pulling your leg.
Am I not?
He's
Okay,
He's
fine.
trolling.
But yeah, let's give a massive round of applause to Skippy for setting all of this up, and yeah, being the absolute leader he is, and putting all of this together. All of these graphics, he's been working tirelessly. He's uploading the videos to YouTube. He's been editing them. He's been organizing this, the back and forth, all the behind the scenes, all being done by Team Skippy, and they've been working non-stop on this tournament, and it needs to be said. So, round of applause to them as well.
Thank you, Carbon. Mrs. Skippy as well made a lot of sacrifices every week, all 3 weekends in a row, watching the kids. So thank you, Mrs. Skippy, for your support of the tournament as well. She deserves a lot of credit. It's a team. Being married is a team sport, if you can call it a sport. I don't know what you call it. Relationship. It's life. Life is relationships. So yeah, guys, that's going to be it. And also, please give a follow to Midge if you haven't done so already. Twitch.tv/MidgeMan. That's going to be it for us. I'm going to go probably chillax the rest of my Sunday. Until next time, we'll get back to some normal streams. Some casual gameplay. But thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all your love. Midge, thanks for your shoutcasting along the way. Until next time.
Bye-bye. And Stuka in trouble.
Oh,
Jackson's going hunting.
what a gamble.
There's a demo shot.
He doesn't see it. Point blank firing into the Churchill.
Oh, come on. They're retreating over it.
Oh, the AEC!
It's going to hunt down a tiger. It got a tiger.
It did it!
Hit them with this Axis blob moves up. Here it comes. The Scot just explodes.
Just like that, out of nowhere.
Churchill really looking low. That Catty needs to be moved out of there. This
got more
is
pioneers.
going to go down to the wire. 18 to 37. 18 to 37. What is happening with this game?
Rumbly engine. Oh, no. Oh, Stuka bomb coming up north. This could be devastating. He doesn't... Oh, no.